Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, residual makers. We are super excited this afternoon. Welcome to the leadership, overview with our co-founders. Wow, it sounds unbelievable to be saying co-founders on our call. In fact, it's a privilege. We're super excited to be having, a few of the main co-founders on this call this afternoon to be sharing some phenomenal information with us. But firstly, before we actually get started, I want you guys to just create a lot of noise on the chat. Let's show the founders our energy. Let's show them who we are as residual makers and what we represent. So I'm just super pumped up because we have a lot of phenomenal information that they are going to be sharing with us, this afternoon. Now, first thing I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do is please make sure you are in the area that you are ready to receive the information, because misinformation can't be used. So you want to make sure that you are ready, you are prepared for the next 1 hour and a half to receive from two phenomenal co-founders that are going to be sharing some vital information about what you need to do to take your business from where it is to the next level. And there is no better person or no better people to learn from than the people who created the company. It just makes sense. The people who created the company, of course, has 100% of the information. So my advice is write some notes. Like I always say on all my training, the note takers are the money makers. So make sure that you guys are ready to receive. Now, I'm just super excited to be calling upon the first, co-founder that's going to be sharing his first segments with us. And in fact, I've had the privilege to know this individual over the years. I've had a chance to learn, not just myself, but many people on the call. In fact, himself and the other co-founder, they were one of the very first people that I learned from that paved the way in business for many people. And guys, sometimes we see a company like Nexarise and we just think it's a company that, we just get involved and make some money. But in fact, a lot of work really goes behind the scenes that many of us don't get a chance to see. All we just simply see is the service appear and we see them on a call saying that you can make some money. And we get excited, clapping our hands and ready and getting straight to work. But I must tell you, in the space of 5.5 months to 6 months, they've put in a lot of work. A lot of sacrifices has gone behind the scenes. And I know sometimes it's hard to kind of relate to because you don't have nothing to compare to. But I must say that, look, we are thankful, we are grateful that individuals like this gentleman that would really take their time, take part of their life to really create something phenomenal, then you and I can have an opportunity to be a part of. You have to understand, they don't have to do what they do, but they do it on the basis to see other people win. And I think that in itself says a lot about them, the integrity and the sacrifice that they, in terms of putting other people before themselves. Now, it's my privilege to call on the first co-founder that will be sharing his segment. And you guys are excited. I can see the group. And he's going to be sharing his first segment with us. And this part of the presentation is very important because it's about having the right mindset. You see, everything is about mindset. You see, whatever you do in life is about what you let in. I always say on my training segments, your eyes and your ears are the gateway to your heart and to your mind, okay? So what you let in is exactly what actually pours out. So if you guys can retain this information based on how to have the right mindset to build the right business, I promise you, you're going to gain the results that you're looking for. So ladies and gents, let's welcome to the virtual stage none other than the first co-founder, the CEO of our company, Nexarise, Mr. Lidju Thomas. Mr. Lidju Thomas, over to you.
Hey, thank you so much, John, for that kind introduction. A very good afternoon to everybody on this call. Good afternoon, Team Residual Makers. What a name. I'm loving the t-shirt, Gemma, loving the t-shirt, John. Phenomenal. What an apt name that you've picked for your team. Let me tell you something. Write this down. Words have meaning, but names have power. Remember that. Words have meaning, but names have power. Every time you represent residual makers, there is power that goes through the words and the meaning, and anybody who sees it and hears it will definitely be able to get the impact of that power. I'm really excited to get on this call. I'm working from home today just to do as much as we can, even though we work in the office day. And my real home now is the Nexarise headquarters, but for a change, I'm working from home to do my bit towards what we can do to follow the rules and regulations of the government. But I'm excited to be here today. It's going to be a packed call, an information packed call. I'm going to speak as fast as I can. So if you miss something, try not to miss it. But if you miss something, don't worry. This is going to be recorded. So you'll get a recording of the element. But myself and Ahmed, who's going to speak to you today, we have created some information, and we want to deliver it to show you how important it is for you to be in this moment of time to create legacies. And I really appreciate the leadership within this organization with Steve and Gemma and John and all the other leaders. It's an absolute phenomenal achievement what you are doing right now. The very first TC3000s have come from your organization. The very first TC5000s of Nextrise have come from your organization. So history is being made, and you are part of history. So well done, everybody. So I'm going to go straight into my section of the training so that you can see what is it that I've got to share with you today. And I want to share with you today the secret, okay? What is the secret? So many of you might not know who I am, and many of you might not know my story. So I just want to recap a little bit. But the secret is what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, most people have 5 different careers in their life. That's what they go into allocation for. And all 5 different careers I have taken into. Because, you know, as a child, as a young person, you're always taught to go and select a decent career. So the first career that most people get into is what we call a blue-collar career. And I've done that. Now, what are blue-collar workers? They are people or individuals who give their service and get paid for the service that they give. So I was educated as an engineer. I worked as an engineer, a blue-collar worker, and I got paid for the work that I did, and I ranked up to the senior most positions in the company, in the engineering company that I was working for. But here's what it is. As an engineer, the more work you do, the more money you make, and after a while, you get worn down. The next career is called the white-collar worker. Now, white-collar workers are individuals who are in positions of management, and they manage blue-collar workers. And I did that as well in my previous career. I worked in senior management. I started in junior management, went to the senior most position in management. But here's what happens with white-collar workers. They get pressure from above. That is the owners of the company. They get pressure from below, their subordinates. So you're like pressurized on 24/7, and you got all those kind of nonsense, politics and all of that. I really did enjoy it. The third career that people go into is sales, and I did that as well, where you can actually go and work hard and make as much money as you want. And I did that. I was a very top sales person in my organization. Now, what happens is you have a great year, you make a lot of money, you create a lifestyle, fantastic. But next year, what happens? Your targets get replaced again, your areas get reduced, and you're expected to produce at a better rate at a lower area with more targets. So you're constantly pressurized, and after a few years, you get burnt out. Then I went into the other side of the quadrant, which is the cash flow quadrant of Robert Kiyosaki, and that is traditional business. And I invested a lot of money. I had an idea, invested a lot of money, passionate about my idea. But here's what I identified. After a while, what I went into business was for my passion for my idea, but what I ended up doing was everything that I didn't want to do. You got to take care of VAT, corporation tax, human resources. You got to change the light bulbs in the bathroom if you have to. It was so much pressure. In my work, it was 9 to 5, but in a business, traditional business, it's 24/7, and there's a lot of pressure. And the fifth career that people go into is investing. Very good if you make the right investments, but most people do not make the right investments. So what I did as an investor, I made money, but here's a challenge I also had. I lost a lot of money. And the constant stress and the constant blood pressure monitoring, I didn't enjoy it. So most people go into this 5 different careers. I did all 5. That is why when I meet with someone of any of these careers, I can relate with them because I know the pros and the cons. I know the positives and the negatives of their career path. And then finally, I found the career or the industry or the profession where I found that was better than everything else. And that was a career in the network marketing industry, the best career. Now, you might be saying, Liju, you are biased because you own a network marketing company. Naturally, you will say that that is the best career. But in fact, no. I want to give you 35 reasons of why I use the theory of elimination, because in engineering, they teach you something called the theory of elimination. You look at the different elements to the points, eliminate the bits and bobs, and what do you get after it is the cream. So I'm going to give you 35 reasons of why building your career in Nexterize, in this profession, becoming a professional, will be the best career on the planet. So here's number one. I call it home. Welcome home. Welcome to Nexterize. Welcome home to the best career that you can imagine. Okay, now, reason number one is residual income. Residual income. You taste residual income. I'm telling you, it is Art Jonak who said this. If you understand residual income, you will go through a brick wall to go and get it. Now, less than 5% of the people in the world earn residual income. The wealthiest people in the world earn residual income. So if you are residual makers, well done. You're already putting yourself into the 5% of the top in the world. Isn't that amazing? The income that keeps coming in even when you stop working. Smart income. That's what I like about this industry. You get residual income, which means if you want to take a day off today, you still get paid. If you want to take a month off, you still get paid. If you got to take a year off, you still get paid. Next point was financial freedom. Now, what is financial freedom? Some people say you got to be a millionaire to be financially free. Incorrect. How do you calculate financial freedom? Add up your monthly expenses, your mortgage, your rent, your car payment, your groceries, your children's payment, you know, your the bill payments. Add all of that up. If all of that adds up to £3,000 a month, and if you get £3,000 worth of residual income that comes into your bank account every single month, even if you get out of bed or not, now you are financially free. Because you do not have to get out to go and work to cover your expenses. This industry gives you financial freedom. You could be making £10,000 a month here in Nexterize and be financially free in comparison to somebody making 20,000 out there in a job, because the job can go anytime. You do not know. Next point, unlimited income potential. This is the only career where I saw that the income level is unlimited because it depends on the number of individuals that come into your organization. Time freedom. So I was interviewed on TV and I was asked a question, Lijo, how do you define what success means when it comes to time freedom? And I say, here's how I define success. Is doing what you want, when you want, wherever you want, however you want, with whoever you want. That is true freedom. That is success. That is time freedom. Daily personal growth. On a day-by-day basis, you get to grow. See, I believe in life, either you're growing or you're dying. It's as simple as that. There's no middle ground. So you get to grow on a daily basis. Here's the next point. Service to others. You see, Zig Ziglar said this: service to others leads to greatness. Isn't that a great career? The higher you go in this industry depends on the number of people that you have helped and you've given service to. Tax benefits, enormous amount of benefits that you will get within this career in comparison to anything else out there. Understand that taxes were created by the wealthy for the wealthy. Now you're getting into the category of taking advantage of the benefits of tax, where you can pay tax, but the beauty is this: you can get the benefits from tax as well. Family growth. Here's what I've understood. For me, that when you get into this career, it's not just you who grows, but everybody within your family grows. Let me tell you a story. My son was 2 years old. I've got 3 sons and 1 daughter, all right, in the last 5 years. So I am fast in production. Let's put it that way. Now, my sons are very naughty, okay? So my son, when he went to his Montessori, his nursery, the first parent-teacher meeting I went to attend, I was nervous. Now, I'm a very confident guy. But why was I nervous? Because I know how naughty my son is. So I'm thinking the worst, going to the parent-teacher meeting, listening, scared of the fact that I'm going to get some feedback about my child. So I went and sit down for my son's parent-teacher meeting, and the first question the teacher asked me is this: Liju, what do you do at home that impacts your children so much? Now I was scared. I was like, well, I do what normal dads do, what every dad does, nothing unusual. And then she said, let me tell you something. Of all the children in this Montessori, at 2 years of age, your son is a born leader. And we have not witnessed this much confidence that your son has in any other children. He naturally stands up and takes leadership. He wants to be the teacher and not the student. And it goes to the parents. So well done. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I had tears in my eyes Because I didn't teach my child network marketing. I didn't teach him this career. I didn't teach him anything. But the fact that he was surrounded by his dad every single day and his mom, impacting other people's lives and showing how to lead with confidence, that went into a 2-year-old. So can you imagine? Family growth, amazing. Travel the world. You see, I was asked once in an interview, Liju, how do you know if someone has really lived a good life? And I said, show me the pages of your passport and I can tell you if you've really lived or not. This is a career where you can travel around the world and build a business. Diversify relationships. What I understood is this. You see, if you meet an Indian person, I can almost guarantee you majority of that Indian person's friends are Indians. You meet an African, majority are Africans. You meet a Mexican, majority are Mexicans. And what happens is 195 countries in the world, most people get to the end of their life and they don't even really understand what life and culture and people are all about. What's great about this industry is you will be able to build relationships around the world, diversify your life with cultures from around the world and create a better quality of life. Positive associations. It was Harvard University who did this. They did a test. They took over 70 individuals from the age of 18 to 80 and monitored their life to identify who lived the most happy life and the most successful life. And after many years, they researched and they found out the findings. Who lived the happiest and the most successful? Now, there were individuals who became very acclaimed athletes, doctors, presidents, prime ministers, very wealthy. And they concluded after all of those interviews, the people who lived the best quality life and the happiest life were not the richest, were not the ones who achieved the most amount of accolades, but were the ones who had the best associations. You see, in the Hindu religion, the Bhagavad Gita says, what is heaven? Heaven is like-minded people staying together and having a conversation. What's great about this industry is that you're going to have the best associations of only positive, inspiring, educated, entrepreneurial individuals on a non-stop basis. That's the reason why Benjamin Franklin said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Isn't it great? When you have positive friends, you have a positive life. That's what it's all about. Next concept is this. You become a role model to other individuals. On a regular basis, I have people connecting with me in social media around the world that I even haven't seen before. And they say, hey, listen, Liju, I watched a video of yours 5 years ago and you inspire me to get up and become somebody. And you are my role model. Just to hear that makes it worthwhile to have a career like this. You become a role model to your children. You know what are the best things that you can ever do is, how do you know if you become a good dad or a good mom? Very simple. If your son or if your daughter says, all right, when they're asked the question, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? It's a question that all kids are asked. And if your son or if your daughter says, hey, you know what? I want to be like my daddy, or I want to be like my mommy, then you know you have done the right thing in becoming a role model to your children. This career will allow you to do that. You get to impact lives on a daily basis. Isn't that amazing? You have no monotony because every day you don't know how it's going to be. It's not going to be seen. When I went to work in an office, my biggest problem was going to the same place of work every single day, the same route, meeting the same stressed people in the same environment, coming back in the same traffic, and every single day having that monotony in life was horrible. Life is not meant for 75% of it to be given to monotony and boredom. What's great about this career is you don't know who you're going to meet tomorrow. You don't know what you're going to hear the next day. You don't know which person is going to hate you tomorrow. You don't know who's going to clap for you tomorrow. Every day becomes a story, becomes an experience, and you will enjoy every single day of your life in this career. You get to earn recognition and respect from your fans, from your family, from your haters. Isn't that amazing? Your haters will respect you for what you have done, but openly they won't say it, but they will respect you inside because they got something to talk about you. You have a balanced life of health, wealth, and happiness. I've noticed a lot of wealthy, rich people in their life, they don't have a balance in their life. They might have a lot of money in their bank account, but their health is suffering, and you can also see their family suffers. Here, you can have a balance of all of it. You have mental and social well-being, because every single day you're consistently talking about well-being, financial well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, and that's what life is all about. You get to work with your life partner. Now, when I did this training, somebody said, but is that a positive? Is that an advantage? For some people, it is not. But here's the advantage. This is the one career, when you compare it to anywhere else, that you get to work with your life partner. All right, your husband and your wife, and you can have common goals, common associations, common targets. You get to work from home. You get to work from your beach. You get to work from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. Isn't that amazing? You have an equal opportunity. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, yellow, or brown. Doesn't matter if you're tall or short, fat or thin. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Doesn't matter your caste, your religion, your education, your degree. Nothing matters. In fact, more than 80% of the women who make over 100,000 come from this career. Isn't that an amazing business where everybody starts on the same level playing field and only the cream rises to the top? There's no nepotism, which means because you're my son, you get to the top. There is no political agenda. There's no bias. There's nothing that you can influence to get to the top. You put the work in, you're going to rise to the top. Talent doesn't matter. Isn't that amazing? So even if you have no talent, it doesn't matter. You can rise to the top. It's an ethical entrepreneurship with integrity. Now, let me tell you, I've been in business for a while. And many times I've surrounded myself with a lot of successful business people. But let me tell you something that I've found. In most business people, they will be hesitating for individuals to check onto their accounts. If it's the IRS, if it's the FCA, whoever it may be. Because a lot of people in business understand that to get to the top in business, you got to cut corners. You got to cut on ethics. What's great about this career is you can build it with ethics and you can build it with integrity. You can become a role model to others. You're not afraid of anybody coming and checking anything in your books. You get to live a purpose-driven life. Isn't that amazing? Every single day you get up, you now have a purpose to do what you want, and every single day you got to go towards. Isn't that crazy? Unending journey of progression. Somebody asked me, once in an interview, Liju, what do you strive to be? And I said, I want to strive to get to the end of perfection. And when you get there, understand that I've not even started the journey yet. So in this business, there's never it. You're never it. It never ends. It's unending. So you got always something to look forward to. You have a no boss. That means you are your own boss. You have no targets. That means there's no pressure. There's low risk and a trial period. If you ever want to be an entrepreneur, tell me today, how can business people have no risk? If you want to go and start a McDonald's franchise, can you go and tell them, hey, listen, let me start the McDonald's franchise, trial it for 2 weeks and then see if it works or not? No. But in this career, you can try it with low risk. Isn't that crazy? It's recession proof because we deal with essential services. Every single day, people are going to be using the services and products that we offer. That's why it's recession proof. It's pandemic proof, which means you can build a business working from home. You get regular coaching by achievers. In any other industry, for you to be coached by an achiever, it costs a lot of money. Achievers don't take time to come and teach you and coach you. Here, for free, you get trained and coached by people who have got to the top. That is why, how do you cross a minefield? You simply follow the footsteps. Isn't that amazing? Here you're going to get that coaching from successful individuals who don't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. It's flexible and you can work part-time. What does that mean? So you can keep your bread and butter job as it is, and you can start this part-time, and eventually when your part-time income from Nexarize gets higher than your full-time income, that's when you can go full-time. Isn't that amazing? That's why Jim Rohn said, work full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune. Work full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune. See, how I call Nexarize for me is a calling, and it's not even a career anymore. Because for a lot of people, if you understand the difference between career and calling, career is what you're getting paid for. A calling is what you're made for. Let me repeat that. A career is what you get paid for. A calling is what you're made for. Nexarize for me is my calling. And that's what you got to understand. When you understand that, everything becomes crystal clear. You got clarity with no ambiguity. You know exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to go. at speed that you determine, and there's no ambiguity in any element of Nexterize. Isn't that amazing? You become a part of a noble cause. Every single day you know that, yes, I'm building my fortune, but I'm also building fortunes within Nexterize, and where we are going to be doing charitable courses, giving employment to people in a time when people are getting being made redundant, and making a difference in other people's lives on a day-by-day basis. Isn't that amazing? Look at this. You get to leave a long-lasting legacy. You focus to become really good in this career. There will be a time in the next near future, or in the years to come, in generations to come, where your children's children will point to your picture on the mantelpiece and say, that man, that woman, that residual maker made a difference to my life. You get to leave a legacy. Legacy. Let every generation after celebrate you. Isn't that amazing? But the most important element, I call it, in all of everything, why is this the best career option, is you get to experience a fulfilled life. See, a lot of people, if you ask them what do you really want, they say, I want happiness. And they look for happiness in everything that they do. Hey, you want happiness? They go have a microwave mentality. Go and have a big burger and get happiness, but it's short term. You know, go and get this much amount of money, short term. But what happens is, when you add all of these 34 other elements into your life, all of a sudden you start to live a fulfilled life. Now, happiness is temporary. Fulfillment is permanent. So you want to strive not for happiness, strive for fulfillment. When I realized that this is what this career gives, I understood that this is where I'm going to build my home, build my legacy. And these are the KPIs, or the key performance indicators of any company that you should look at before. If you find this somewhere else, go ahead. But this is what Nexterize will offer you, and that gives you enough reasons for why you should be a success story here. Now, here's my training today. Write this down. What is the secret of the most successful people in the world? And I'm going to give you the answer to this question at the end of my training. So remember that. Stay tuned. What is the secret? And I wanted to know the secret. So because of that, I understood. I went to my mentors and said, hey, how can I be the most successful person in this industry? And he said, success is common in any industry. And here's what he told me. He said, if you wish to be successful, study success. And that's what I did. I started reading books upon books upon books of successful individuals in successful industries globally all over the world. And here's what I identified. I identified there were 6 elements of success in any field, not just Nexterize. Any element of entrepreneurship, 6 elements of success. Now, let me start with the first one. And for that, I'm going to make an illustration. These are some of the most successful companies on the planet today. Airbnb, Groupon, Walt Disney, FedEx, WhatsApp, GE, Electronic Arts, Microsoft, IBM, HP. What do you think is common among all of these companies? Here's the answer. Each and every one of these companies started or originated in the middle of a recession. Isn't that amazing? So when the whole world was shutting down, entrepreneurs within these companies had a different mindset, and they decided to do something and become a success story. And here is what the next company is going to be. One day it's going to be written like this. A company that started right in the middle of the greatest recession and greatest depression that the world has ever seen. And that is Nexterize. So if you are on this call today, congratulate yourself. You know, hold your fist against your heart and say, well done, because you have made a decision in faith to come into a company in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a recession, in the midst of a great depression. And because of that faith, because of that step of action, you've already achieved the first element of success, and that is timing. Timing is so crucial in business, and has never been a better time to become a fully fledged entrepreneur in this industry through successful company like Nexterize. Remember, I play a lot of semi-professional cricket. And when I played cricket, I remember my coach telling me, I used to see people, and the objective in a game of cricket is to hit the ball out of the ground. And I used to go and hit the ball as hard as possible, and the ball never went for a 6. And a person would come after me, younger than I, skinnier than I, but he would come and hit the ball, and that ball would fly outside the ground. And my coach told me this. He said, Liju, to achieve that sixer, it's not about how hard you hit the ball. It's about how well you time the ball. You see, right now, timing is so crucial for your success. Now is an amazing time for you to build your residual income with Nexterize. Because remember something about time. Time is the most important commodity on the planet. The most important thing. The smart ones use it, the rest abuse it. The smart ones use it, the rest abuse it. So that is timing. Look at this. Just go on Google and type in work from home and look at Google Trends work from home. And you'll see in 2015 the graph and 2020 the graph. What does this tell you? This shows that right now, most people, what are they doing in Google? Searching, how can I work from home? That's the problem that they are facing. And you have the solution. You are giving them the Nexterize opportunity for them to work from home. Isn't that amazing? I was asked in an interview once, how do you differentiate between a millionaire and a billionaire? Or what is the way to become a millionaire and what's the way to become a billionaire? I said it's very simple. A millionaire is someone who solves 1 million people's problems. A billionaire is someone who solves 1 billion people's problems. So if billions and millions of people are searching how to work from home, and you can solve their problem by giving them a Nexterize opportunity, you are on the right track of financial freedom. Isn't that amazing? The second element of success is communication. You know, it was Warren Buffett, billionaire, one of the best investors in the world, who said communication is the most valuable skill that you can have in business. In your Nexterize business, what you'll be doing is communicating the opportunity to individuals. But do not make the 3 deadly sins that most people make in this industry. Number 1 is being cheesy. Is going to somebody and says, hey bro, listen, it's tough times right now, isn't it? You're losing a job. You don't know if you have a job right now, is it? Hey, come and show you. I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to make you rich. That's cheesy. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go and tell people, hey, listen, come, I'll show you something you can get rich quick. That's cheesy. Second C, 3 C's, is cut to the chase. You know, they go straight into somebody and says, you want to get rich? Come join me. You don't want to do that. And the third C is cash. People focus a lot on cash. Hey, listen, you want to make 10 grand a month? I got a person who just became RD10 making 10 grand a month. Come and join me. You don't want to talk about cash. That's the worst thing you can do in presentation, becoming cheesy, cutting to the chase, and talking about cash. So when you talk about a Nexterize presentation or training, this is what your framework should be. First, you got to connect to the heart with your why, your goal. Second, you got to connect to the head by the content of the presentation. And that content should be in less than 18 minutes. Your presentation should not be more than 18 minutes. Why? Scientifically, it's proven that the average time span that someone will give towards a first presentation is 18 minutes. That's why TED Talks are below 18 minutes. Then you got to give them an action. You connect to the hand. And the fourth H, you connect back to the heart with the story. This should be the framework of your presentation. Connect to the heart, then the content, then the hands and the heart. See, here's what I used to do in my presentation. I say, hey, listen, buddy, I was living a very tough life. I was a decent job, but the fact that I didn't have time, I didn't have money, I didn't have freedom, really affected myself and my family. My mom, my dad, both were not well, but they were forced to work. Why? Because they had to pay the mortgage. That is when I saw an opportunity like this. And this is what the opportunity is, slide 1 to slide 10. I got straight into action. And guess what happened? Today, my best moment in my life was going to my dad and mom and saying, Dad and Mom, you never have to work a day in your life ever again. Boom. That's it. Short, sweet, connect to the heart. You see, if you don't have a story, use someone else's story till you get a story of your own within Nexterize. Hey, I want to talk to you about a man called Ahmed. Born and brought up in a council flat, in a very large family, you know, and he was working in Marks and Spencer. An individual showed him an opportunity like this. He got started and he was able to change the financial future of his entire family for the rest of your life. Heart, head, hands, and heart. Here's what I believe. if you connect to somebody's heart, they will give you their hand and their head. So connect to their heart, they will give you their head and their hands. So that's how you frame a presentation. Another element that I found out in a successful entrepreneur, they sell a decent product or service. Now look at the variety of products and services that Nexarize is offering right now. The key point being right now. Very soon, the next few weeks, you have another service being added. Very few in the few weeks after that, another 2 services being added. So there's going to be a point where you're going to have a screen with a variety. The entire screen will be products and services, and people can come and choose what they like. That's why I believe variety in its entirety is the spice of life. When life gives you a box of chocolates, try all of them. Don't just try one. We got energy, a multi-billion-dollar industry. We got mobile phone. In fact, your presentation can be even so simple as this. Hey, can you ever live without this mobile phone? Can you live without it? No? Then come, I'll show you a way how we can earn money from it. That's your presentation. We got home care cover, travel, multi-million-dollar industry, insurance, multi-million-dollar industry, forex trading and many more trading coming in, multi-billion-dollar industry, web development, SEO, multi-billion-dollar industry. And you can now build a business with just one of these products. Isn't that amazing? Just one of it. But the question to you is this. In Nexarize, what is it that we sell? Is it forex trading? Is it travel programs? Is it essential services? Is it mobile phone? The answer is no. What you are actually selling is the Nexarize opportunity. Now, how much does the Nexarize opportunity cost you? Add up 199 pounds and then add up £20.40 every single month, and the total you get at the end of the year, divided by 365 days, you are selling an opportunity to individuals to become financially free for simply £1.22 a day. That's what you're selling. So don't consider this as a £1.22 opportunity. Don't consider this as a $1.99 opportunity. That is just the entry to get in. Consider this as a multi-billion-pound opportunity. That's when you're going to achieve success. Because if you treat Nexarize like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. But if you treat Nexarize like a business, you'll get paid like a business. That is what we sell. So when people come and tell me, hey, listen, I went and I found that you can get a mobile plan that is £1 cheaper. I said, listen, my friend, that is not what you're selling. You don't sell mobile phones. You don't sell e-commerce. You don't sell any of that. You're selling an opportunity for people to get financial freedom and an opportunity for people to earn residual income. And the fact that you have all these services are just the tools within the opportunity. Now look at this. Just this one slide, that should literally dictate the opportunity. Put this in front of somebody, just this one slide, and say, listen, as an RD10, you can make £10,000 every single month. Now here's what I believe. If someone makes £10,000 a month, they can live a lifestyle that's better than 97% of the people in the world. Do you know that? That's what I believe. Just 10 grand a month. And £10,000 a month of residual income. Just this slide. Everything else above that is abundance. So if someone sees this and they say, listen, if I become an RD10, I make £10,000 of residual income every single month. That alone is enough for people to get it. Now understand this point. Don't be desperate. Don't beg. Don't push. Don't convince. Don't coerce. If people don't get it, they don't get it. Move on. You can't convince a donkey to be a racehorse because you can't give the right message to the wrong person and you cannot give the wrong message to the right person. This is what we sell at Nexarize. Now look at the next element of strategy, of success, and that is strategy. What you'll find of a lot of successful entrepreneurs, if they get a plan, they see RD10 is £10,000 a month. Next thing is, what's my strategy? And this is your strategy in Nexarize. To achieve the highest position of SVP Crown, all you got to understand is how can you become an ETT 100? Now what's an ETT 100? You get 2 individuals who come into your business, get a total of £350 of business volume, And now you become an ATT 100, means you make £100 every single month. Simple. Now, how do you get to the next rank, ATT 250? Help 3 people in your team make £100 a month. How do you become an RD10? Help 143 people make £100 a month. How do you become an SVP Crown? Help 32,000 people. So the strategy of your business is help the lowest person in your team make £100 of residual income a month. £100 a month is £1,200 a year. That's equivalent of having £120,000 in a bank account at 1% interest. And you don't even get that now. That's your strategy. Help people win, you will win. Help your individuals in your organization, support them, train them. When you help them rise, you rise. Isn't that amazing? Now look at the next element. The next element of success is, yes, you've got a decent opportunity. Yes, it's the right timing. Yes, you've got a strategy. Yes, you've got all the things that you need in terms of becoming a success story. You've got a decent product, a decent opportunity. But this element is so crucial. If you don't have belief, here's what's going to happen. You're going to fail. Now remember, a lot of people have the wrong beliefs. That's the reason why the middle 3 letters, L-I-E, in the middle of the word belief is lie. And your lies that people tell themselves is why they can't be successful. But you need 4 types of beliefs to be successful in this company. Belief number 1 is you need to have belief in the industry. And I gave you 35 reasons of why this industry is so powerful. The industry of network marketing, a $200 billion industry that pays off over $200 million every single day in commissions to people. An industry that where you look at, it's one of the industries that creates the most amount of millionaires in the world. Look at the next element. You got to have belief in Nexarize. I'm telling you something. I challenge you this. I have seen a lot of training videos and I've seen a lot of companies and their comp plans. I challenge you this. Go and tell me and find me one company where the founders have combined experience of over 20 years in the field as an independent business owner. And where the founders, they talk the talk and they walk the walk. Give me one time, show me one company where the founders come on calls like this and take live question and answer sessions from anybody in the field. Because I don't know, there might be a hater on this call. See, you will not get founders who are this transparent. And I say this to you, man, you know what? People can smell a phony a mile away. Look at somebody's eyes and you're looking into their soul. You're getting an opportunity here directly from the horse's mouth, the founder's mouth. And we come in and we pour our hearts, our minds, our knowledge into you so you can become a success story. That alone should give you enough belief in the company. You got to have belief in the products and services. If we have what the products and services that we have selected, the 7 so far, are proven successful products and services. Just the travel on its own is a multi-billion-dollar network marketing companies with just one product. Essential Services, $700 million company is ACN doing essential services. Look at iBoomerang. Look at Amway. Look at Herbalife. Look at this. We got to bring in products and services that are proven in the industry. So you should have no doubt. But the biggest belief that you should have is you. The fact that you can do it. Stop lying to yourself. Someone comes and tells me, Liju, I don't think I can become successful in Nexarize. I say, hey, buddy, stop lying to yourself. You don't have belief in you. If you don't have belief in you, you're out. And belief is crucial because if you have 1% doubt, you're out. And here's what you're going to face. 5 classes of people to every opportunity. And when you show Nexarize, you're going to find these 5 classes of people. And it goes down to your belief system. First is called the ignoramus. Ignoramus people are people who there'll be a lot of opportunities all around the world, but they're just ignorant. They are living a tough life. You call them to come and see a Nexarize presentation. They'll say, yeah, my uncle's auntie's cousin sister once did something like this and was failing. So because of that reason, I don't want to come. Hey, tell me about the presentation before I see the presentation. You know what? They're ignorant. There's nothing you can do about it. Move on. The second are the passers-by. They will come and see your presentation. And then what they will do is they will find some reason for why they should not get involved in Nexarize. You know, that's the reason why they're poor all their life. I define poor as P-O-O-R, passing over opportunities repeatedly. They are the passers-by. That's why Bill Gates said, if you're born poor, that's not your fault. But if you die poor, that is your fault. Then you've got the third category of people, the excuse givers. They'll get started in Nexarize. They'll try and do something, but after a period of time, they'll make excuses. I don't have the time, I don't have the money, my spouse doesn't allow me to do this. And you hear all these kinds that unfortunately you can't cure them. Why? Because of the disease called excusitis. There are side effect diseases called, bronchitis and pocketitis. You can't do anything about it. Move on. Next, you'll see the believers. They'll come into the business. They will believe in the company. They will believe in the industry. They'll believe in the founders. They'll believe in the Nexterize opportunity. They'll attend every single training. In fact, they're so trained that you say something like, what is commitment? They will tell you, yes, George Saluki said commitment is doing what you said that you'll be doing even when the mood has left you. They've got all the knowledge, but they just believe us, but they don't do anything, and they stay poor. And then the fifth category of people are the doers. These are the individuals who categorize the final element of success, and that is action. People who take action. For them, nothing else matters but doing what you're supposed to do. They get the action. Within less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks of Nexterize launching, look at some of these doers. They got ETL 1000. Less than 2 weeks, look at some of these doers. And unfortunately, today we have, not unfortunately, fortunately, I didn't even have time to update my slide. The one of these individuals already gone up to 5,000. Another individual just went up to 5,000. Isn't that, these are doers. It's very simple in this industry. To dominate, you got to take the first two letters D and O, and that's how you're going to dominate. You know what? Work ethic is the most important thing that you need. Action. And that's how you're going to get to. I'm going to end my training by just telling you a story of a true story of a gentleman called Eric. Now, Eric was somebody who was not very good at speaking English, an ordinary man, and he was working in a decent company, in a decent job, but he had a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend, who was in another part of the country. And he wanted to see her and speak to her, but wants to do it long distance. And unfortunately, he couldn't go every time and see her. So he decided, hey, listen, why don't I create a program where I can see and talk to my girlfriend every single day? So what he did is he had that motivation, he had that idea, he went and did it. He created a program. He went and showed it to his boss, his management, and said, this is a great program, we should sell this. Manager says, it's rubbish, it won't even run, it won't work. Guess what Eric did? He had so much belief in his product, he left his good job and went and created a company that allows people to see each other and talk to each other. That gentleman is Eric Yuan. Today, he is a gentleman. In 2011 in April, he created Zoom that we are using right now to speak to each other. Not much success in the beginning, but in December 2019, he had 10 million users using his program, and he became a millionaire. Remember, solve a million problems, become a millionaire. In April 2020, this year, he is today worth 36 billion. His company is worth over 50 billion. And that is Eric Yuan. And he used the 6 elements of success. 1, the right timing to bring a program like this. 2, he communicated his product with everybody. 3, he sold a decent product and service. 4, the strategy was to make the whole thing online with no glitches and have a streamlined element, and he was able to do it. 5, he had belief in his company. He had belief in the industry. He had belief in his product, and he believed in himself. 6, he took action. And today he's a successful individual that the world is celebrating. Isn't that amazing? Friends, I've given you the 6 elements of success after reading multiple books of how you can be successful in Nexterize. And I started by saying, my question was, what is the secret of the most successful people in the world? And it's very simple. It goes down to this: TMAOAGOASN. And that simply says, take massive action on a good opportunity and start now. If you do that, I promise you, I can't wait, along with the other co-founders, to pin you on your label TC3000, TC5000, RD10, RVP, and SVP. And do not make or miss this opportunity. Take maximum advantage, put it into action, and become a success story. So with that being said, that's my part of the training. And I absolutely enjoyed speaking to you right now. But I want to bring in the next individual. And again, a lot of respect for this individual. Somebody who has his heart on his sleeve. Somebody who cares for his people. Somebody who's so financially free, he didn't have to move from his comfort zone. I promise you. But he said to me, when we first started, he said, Liju, I am making money. You are making money. but my people are struggling. And for that reason, we need to do something. At that moment, I was able to read his heart. He had the right intentions, he had the right integrity. And with that, he joined with myself and Asad and he built the company. And let me tell you something, in the last 6 months, I've been seeing him more than my own family. And I'm telling you, a man that wears his heart on his sleeve, and an absolute privilege to be working with him to create the Nexterize opportunity. So ladies and gentlemen, with an absolute privilege of mine to give the virtual stage over to the president and co-founder of Nexterize, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar. Ahmed, over to you, buddy.
Liju, thank you so much for the kind introduction. Highly appreciated. And what a phenomenal training. In fact, myself and Liju, we've been doing these calls. We actually kicked off yesterday. And this is actually the 5th group that we're speaking to. Residual Makers is the 5th team that we're speaking to. So we're really excited to be here with all of you and share this information. And we're just genuinely excited about everything which is happening in Nexterize. But Liju, buddy, what an honor it is to be in business with you and Asad. Really, these guys, I remember in our previous company, we were really competitors, but it was competition, but in a good way. We were always ranking up on the production reports. We were in different teams, but we always got together and we did big events in the UK of thousands of people together. And today, to have them as business partners, it really is phenomenal. And I must say, I echo what you say, brother. I've seen you more than I've seen my own family over the last 6 months. So it's been intense. I must say the last 6 months of our lives, I'd be lying if I say it's been easy. It definitely hasn't been easy. It's been one of the toughest things. In fact, the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. But one thing I'll tell you, it's been the most rewarding, and all the fruits of our labor is really coming to fruition, especially when we see people getting promoted to different positions within a Nexterize opportunity. And that for me, it really is life-changing more than anything. You see, so just to give you a bit of background about myself, Ahmed Mukhtar here. I got involved in the network marketing industry in 2013. Back then, I was really looking for a way to change my life. I derived from a retail background. I was working as a manager in Marks and Spencer's, really hungry and searching for something, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, grafting away. And back then I was looking just a way to change my life. How can I make some additional income? If I made £500, £1,000 in additional income a month, that was all I needed. So I was looking for something. So when a friend of mine told me about network marketing and said, why don't you come and take a look at an opportunity? I was absolutely open-minded. And I was put in front of a very similar concept to what you're seeing today. And it blew me away. I did not know something like this even existed. Think about this for a second, because every single one of us, even though we are within the same country, all our economies are different. Even though we operate within one economy, which is the UK economy, every single one of our personal economies is completely different. For example, someone's value of £10 is completely different to someone else's value of £10, even though it's the same currency, even though it's the same note. There's some people that £50 for them is probably a mil, and there's some people £50 is a weekly income. So just bear this in mind. So for me, back then, honestly, money, like I was making like £2,000 a month. So you can only imagine by the time I helped my family to pay the rent and so on, I was really broke at the end of every month. You know, how many people can relate with what I'm saying? You know where the money is going before it even comes in, right? Money comes in, it's already got. It was like a hole that was never ending. It was like a financial treadmill that really wasn't finishing. So 2013, I dived straight into this industry. I didn't look left, right. I was laser focused. And within 7 years of being in this industry, I built a team of over 60,000 business partners in our previous company. So one thing I'll tell you is I know one or two things about building a team. And I'm really excited because that's the portion of today's training that I get to cover with you, is really what's the next steps? Where do I go from here? I know most of you are trying to find your balance right now, or trying to, tread, or trying to walk, and trying to navigate your way through the Nexterize opportunity. And I understand that because I was once new. So I'm going to be sharing with you some information that can really help you, elevate your Nexterize business to that next level. So Liju spoke about all the mindset stuff that we need. He's done a phenomenal training with, how to think and believing in the opportunity and the concept of the value of residual income and so on and so forth. But before I get started on my segment, I want to just recognize some champions and people that have been promoted to different positions. And huge congratulations, because ladies and gents, you know, Team Residual Makers, you guys are really, really doing some big things, and you're really setting pace. And I'm really, really grateful, you know, for your leadership. But most importantly, I'm really happy for you. I'm genuinely happy that every single one of you are, you know, working towards the next position, and you're very, very hungry to make this happen. So the first group of people that I want to recognize is all the newly promoted Executive Team Trainer 100s. Congratulations to all of you. You know, I know there's a lot of names to read through, but huge congratulations. I know this is the beginning. And the way that I teach the Next Arise compensation plan is always focus on just one step at a time. That's your whole focus, is focus on one goal at a time. I never teach people how to make £1 million a month in Next Arise, because that, you know, it is pointless. Instead, just show people how to go to one step at a time. I remember when I first started this industry, and this will resonate with the Executive Team Trainer 100s. You know, I met a man, and he was making 65,000 euros a month. 65,000 euros. Now, I couldn't believe someone like this even existed. Now, just like, think about it. I'm a Marks and Spencer's manager, and I meet someone making 65,000 euros a month. I'm making 65,000 back then every 2 years. And this gentleman was making it every single month. And I was blown away. I couldn't comprehend it. So I went to him after the training and I said, dude, how are you making 65,000 a month? Like, teach me one or two things. And here's what he said to me. He said, look, Ahmed, never just focus on 65,000. Remember, 65,000 is a result of something that I've been doing for years. It's something I've been repeating for years. He said, just focus on making £100 a month. And I'm telling you, that philosophy that he shared with me back then is a result of what the Next Arise compensation plan is today. And here's what he said: focus on just making an additional £100 a month. That's all your focus is. Now, if you're making 100, can we agree you can comprehend or fathom £250 a month? Now, if you're making £250 a month, do you agree it makes sense and your mind can comprehend you can make 500 a month? And what about if you're making 500? Do you think you can get to 1,000 and then get to 3,000, then get to 5,000, then 10,000? And I promise you, when you're making 10,000, you don't need any further belief that the rest of the compensation plan is doable. I remember in network marketing, when I first started making my first few hundreds, then it turned to thousands, then it turned to thousands, then it turned to tens of thousands, then it turned to hundreds of thousands. And I couldn't even believe I was making that type of money. A guy that came from Marks and Spencer's from nothing. But everything is steps. Ronaldo, you know, I was watching a documentary about him, very, very inspiring. And it was Patrice Evra. And Patrice Evra was his former teammate in Manchester United. Now, you don't need to be a football player to get inspired, because I'm not a basketball fan, but I get inspired by, you know, the work ethic that goes on behind the scenes. I'm not a chef, but I get inspired by people like Gordon Ramsay. You know, I'm not a TV presenter, but I get, you know, inspired by people like Ellen and Oprah Winfrey and so on. Now, I don't own a direct, I don't own a selling company such as Amazon or eBay or even Alibaba, but I get inspired by people like Jack Ma. So you don't need to do something to get inspired, but it's about the work ethic that goes on is absolutely common in every industry you look at. So here's what Patrice Evra said, Cristiano Ronaldo's former teammate in Manchester United. And I think he played with him a season or two, in another country. So here's what he said. He said, we would finish training. And what Ronaldo would do is he would invite all the lads, all the boys, to go around to his house straight after training. So we will all now get to his house. We're expecting, we just finished a long day of training. We're going to chill out. We're going to relax. We're going to eat some food. And guess what he makes them do instead? His way of having fun and relaxing was going on the bicycle and cycling and doing extra cardio, or going on the treadmill and running, or lifting some weights and having conversations. And here's what these guys said. They said, look, dude, if we wanted another training session, we would have stayed in the training camp. Why did you bring us to your home just to train again? And he said that was his understanding of relaxing. Think about that for a moment. The work ethic that goes on behind the scenes, it's the same in every industry. So look, ladies and gents, for those of you that are Executive Team Trainer 100, absolute congratulations to every single one of you. This is just the beginning of the beginning. It's the first step. Now your goal is to help other people do what you did and now move up to the next position of Executive Team Trainer 250. And that's the second position I'd like to recognize. All the Executive Team Trainer 250s, huge, huge congratulations to all of you. I am familiar with all of you. I know Andrea, Obviously, I can see Laurel's there. I can see Natalie's there. I can see Leah and Nari's there. Huge congratulations to all of you that have achieved ETT 250. Now, the third category of people that I want to recognize is the executive team leader 1000s. Huge congratulations to Gemma, to Kevin, to Mei Lee. I'm really, really, really happy for you all. And the fourth category of people that I want to recognize is the TC 3000s. I'm not going to say 3000s because someone was TC 3000 yesterday and they hit TC 5000 just yesterday. So huge congratulations. John, congratulations, buddy. Honestly, your work ethic, your leadership is really second to none. So really happy for you. And I cannot wait, for the next, rank that you achieve. And the final person I want to recognize is TC 5000, none other than Mr. Stephen Alvaro, who became TC 5000 just yesterday. And Stephen's leadership is really second to none. I've worked with him for the last 6 years in our previous company. I know what he stands for. I know his character. And I know he's someone that's really just, really caring for people, man. This guy is someone that cares for people. He understands. And that's the most important thing. You have to have empathy. You have to have sympathy towards people, and you really have to be a good listener when it comes to this industry. So huge congratulations to you all. I'm really, really happy, and I cannot wait for what the future holds and what the next level brings. So ladies and gents, with that being said, I want to get into my topic, and the topic I want to cover with all of you. And the good thing is I can see every single one of you in full, in fact, right now on my screen, I can see 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So I can see 20 people on my screen. And if I scroll to the right, I can see another 20 and so on. So I can see every single one of you. And I'm looking at your faces and speaking to you because I want to see your reaction. I can see Nori's on the phone in the car. It looks like he's got a panoramic roof. I can see him there. I can see many, many different people. I can see Laurel smiling on the left. I can see Terry with his residual maker background and Lloyd with his nice blue jumper. And I can see Willis right here just laughing away. And so I'm looking at everyone's face right now. So that's the whole purpose of these conversations, is to really, really have a leadership conversation. After this, after I'm finished my segment, we're going to do a very, very short Q&A. So ladies and gents, the first thing I want to discuss is presentation. Now, I'm not going to be presenting and showing you the slides, etc., because every single one of you are already part of weekly presentations. I believe you're already doing 3 presentations a week as a team. It's already happening. There's no need for me to go through how to do a presentation. It's already happening. You're seeing it. Now, how do you learn how to present? It's a monkey say, monkey do business. It really, really is. I just copied other people. I learned from other people. Now, think about this. When you copy at, let's say, university, you are dismissed or kicked out of that lesson or that curriculum because you copied. Why? It's called plagiarism, right? It's called plagiarism, right? And I remember for me, when I first came into this industry, the first thing I was told is you have to be the best copycat out there ever. You have to know how to copy. And I said, listen, I know how to copy, man. That got me through high school, right? I used to copy every single exam that I used to have. I used to peek over to the smart guy and just befriend them. Does that make sense? So I said, I know what copying is about. Now in school or in university, it's called plagiarism. But when you copy in Nexarize, you get promoted and you get money in your bank on the 15th of every month. Just think about that for a moment. So you've got to be the best copycat ever. What do I mean? When you see these presentations, do the same presentations you've seen. If someone says a joke and makes you laugh, guess what? Use that joke. You know why? The person you present to will think it came from you. And that's what I did. So I used to literally say the presentations exactly the way I used to see them. And I literally learned how to present very, very quickly. Now here's what happened. My first 3 months, I had no success in network marketing. It took me 3 to 4 months to figure this thing out, just to kind of get my hand around it and just to kind of get a feel for it. It took me over almost 4 months to understand this industry. But once I understood the secret formula, what was missing, the rest was history. So here's what I'll share with you. It's not just about how good a presentation is. And here's how you know if a presentation is effective. If someone comes to you at the end of the presentation and says, man, I just don't know how you did what you just did. The way you talk and the words that you use is just phenomenal. I just don't know how you did it. If someone says that, that's the signs that you've done a bad presentation. That's the signs that you've done a bad presentation. If someone comes to you at the end of the presentation and says, you just make it look so easy. That was so simple to understand. I think I can do what you did. Or you ask them, do you think you can just do what I did? I think that was simple enough. If they turn around and say that, that's how you know you've done a good presentation. So very important, ladies and gents, just learn how to present by watching the leaders that are already presenting on a bi-daily basis. Now, once you learn how to present, it brings me on to the second thing I want to cover. And that's, how do you now sign someone up? How many of you have had someone that you try to sign up and they come up with excuses as to why they're not ready? Maybe it can be, I don't have the money. Maybe it can be, I don't have the time. Maybe it can be, I can't trust it. Maybe it can be, who's going to teach me? Remember, whenever someone brings up an excuse as to why they can't do Next Arise, I promise you is one of four things. I don't have time. I don't have money. Who's going to teach me? And can I trust it? That's the first four things. So the best way to get rid of a bomb is to defuse it before it even happens. So that is now what I'm going to get to, is how do you close someone? Because now, as you can imagine, we're all in lockdown, and I can see everyone's at home. In fact, I'm working from home today. It's been a long time since I've actually worked from home, so I'm really excited to actually just be able to do this at home. But look, right now more than ever, everyone's available. Can we agree? Right now more than ever, everyone has time. Everyone's in lockdown. No one's busy. There's nothing to be busy about. Dude, what are you doing? I'm watching Netflix, right? All right. So every single person really has some availability. Why? Think about this. Most days, what do people spend time doing? They spend 1 hour traveling to work, 1 hour traveling back. So that means on a daily basis, if you just look at just the time they have available in their life, can we all agree they have at least 2 hours available every single day? Even if they commute 45 minutes times 2 is an hour and a half a day. Every single person has additional time. Can we agree the productivity of someone working at home, in contrast to someone working in an office, you can't contact them when they're at an office, at the office. They might not be able to get to their phone, but when they're at home, they have much more free time, and they're much more laid back, and they're much more willing to get on a call like this. So we have to understand this and comprehend it. Now that we understand this, and you've done a presentation and someone's seen the presentation, now it's about the next steps on what do you need to do. And this is now the part that you've got to really learn. Now, here's the problem why the first 3 to 4 months, I weren't really having success in network marketing, because I did not know how to close. I did not know how to enroll someone. I was asking people the wrong question. Look, you have to make sure that your questions are within a parameter. There has to be a parameter around your questions. It can't be open questions. Very, very important. Like, for example, open questions consist of things such as, did you like it? Do you want to join? All of those type of things are open questions. Don't ask open questions. Ask questions that have parameters. So here's the 3 questions that you have to ask after a presentation. You've got to assume that they like it. Very, very important. You've got to assume that they want to sign up. So it's called questions with assumptions. So you're already assuming. And I'll come to something very, very shortly. So here's the first question you ask. Hey, listen, out of everything you've seen, what did you like the most? Now think about this. I'm already assuming that they like something. It's a closed question. You can only tell me what you like, not what you don't like. Now, if I say, what did you think? Oh yeah, it was good, but I think this and this and this can be better, right? Very, very important. It's an open question. Don't ask open questions, but closed questions. Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Now look, I'll tell you this from now, 99% of the times, someone will say,
it cut out for a minute, so just go a tiny bit back.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were just saying the first bit after assumptions.
Okay, just give me a second. I want to just make sure that I'm good, all right? Yeah, okay, perfect, cool. I'll just make my connection's all good. So am I good? You guys can hear me? I'm not freezing up, am I? Am I good? Good, okay, really good. Okay, cool. So you have to assume that they want to get involved in the Next Arise opportunity. So what's the first question that you ask? What did you like the most? You're assuming that they want to get involved and they like what they've seen. So you're assuming. So what did you like the most? Oh, I love the concept of residual income. Oh, what appealed to me the most was I like the fact that you can make extra money. I like the fact that you can make 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 a month. Very important. What did you like the most? Now you go into the second question. Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Now here's one thing I'll share with you is that 99% of people, when you ask them this question, they'll say, well, yeah, I see an opportunity for myself. Now, when they say that, for me, when I'm signing someone up, I use that as an assumption that they're ready to get started. I use that as an indication that they want to get started. So let me give you an example. I don't know if any of you have done skydiving before, right? But the way it is, or when I did skydiving, this is how it was. So you go into this, small kind of plane, and it's like a little tube, right? One person's legs out and you're sitting in between their legs, like they're like bear hugging you from the back almost, right? So like I'm sitting between this random, first time I sat in between a guy's legs was then, right? And I'm sitting in between this guy's legs and his legs around my waist, and the second person's, their body is now in between my legs, and I'm like the fifth person to now skydive. Now I'm watching these group of people, every single person comes, they come to the edge, bam, fly out, and we just look like lunatics, just savoring our life away and just literally diving out of this, plane, which is like thousands of feet, up in the air. So now it's my turn, right? And I wasn't even concentrating on anyone. I'm just literally just sweating buckets. And I don't really sweat unless I'm in a gym, but I'm sweating buckets, frightened to death, right? And now it's my turn. And I'm looking, is there anyone else that wants to go before me? And they don't allow you to change the queue. That's the biggest problem. So now it's crunch time. So now it's my turn. I've got this guy parachute, right? This guy tied right behind me. He's much heavier than me. So I'm thinking, damn it, if this parachute don't work, this guy's gonna crush me to death, right? So I'm just thinking, man, I'm just praying that everything goes well. Anyways, it's my turn. They can see that I'm scared. They're like, don't worry, calm down. It's your turn, right? It's time to rock and roll. So now there's rails, right? So the two rails that you hold on before you set your life away. So I'm holding on to these two rails, and they now tell me, just relax, let go of the rails, take a deep breath. And on 5, we are now gonna jump off. I say, all right, cool. So let's do this. So now what happens is they now count 5, 4, 3, and as soon as it gets to 3, they jump off. Now I'm thinking, hold on a sec, this wasn't part of the rehearsal. So I'm thinking, this guy wants to kill me, there's something going on. And then I realized after we're sailing away that everything's all good and it was part of the plan. Now I said to him, dude, why did you jump off? I wasn't even ready. Here's what he said. He said, if we counted down to 5, what most people would then do is when we say 5, when we come to 1 and we go time, most people hold on the rails. They're like, whoa, wait. Let me just, give me 5 more seconds. Let's start again. And he says it wastes a lot of time. So what they do is they assume that you're good to go. And so sometimes someone needs that little push to get. Listen to me carefully. When I was first signing up to this business, I promise you, I was scared to death because I didn't have the money to get involved in my first network marketing business. I really didn't have the money. So when someone pushed me in, and here's the person who pushed me in. Chairman and co-founder Asad Ali was the individual who pushed me to getting started. He was the one that signed me up to network marketing, and he pushed me in. I didn't have the money. I was thinking, where am I going to get the money from? But he pushed me into signing up. Now listen to this carefully. Had he not pushed me into getting started, I would have never been where I am today. This call would not even probably happen. Nexarise would have probably not even exist. So here's the thing I want to tell you. Sometimes the right push in the right direction can be the best push of someone's life. Listen to me carefully. When you're pushing someone into signing up, you might say to yourself, oh, but I don't want to do that. I feel bad for pushing them. But I promise you, the right push in the right direction can be the best push of someone's life. And I am grateful someone pushed me into getting started. So think about this. Step number 1, what did you like most? Step number 2, do you see an opportunity for yourself? Yes, I do. Now, step number 3 is you push them into getting involved in the business. So let me show you how this is done. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen. So let's do this. And I want to show you how to now make this happen. Okay, so you obviously make sure that you've got your Nexarize page ready to rock and roll. So you've got your page ready, and now that you've asked these questions, so what did you like the most? Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Now is step number 3. Step number 3, after those 2 questions, I'm already assuming that they want to get involved. So here's what I now do. I know that they're thinking about 4 questions, right? Remember what I said, I don't have the money, and they're already thinking, can I trust this? So here's one thing I always tell them. I say, look, isn't it just phenomenal that you can actually get started in a business for only £199 with a monthly business support fee of £20.40? Now, can we all agree, ladies and gents, people spend, I'm telling you, businesses spend tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds today just to be in business on a monthly basis, or sometimes even to start up. So remember, the Nexarize opportunity, it really is something that can really help people change their lives around. So what you want to do is think about this. I'm already speaking about the whole concept of money. Don't you think it's just amazing that someone can get started in a business only for £199? When I first started this business, I thought I didn't have time. But one thing I realized is if I don't have time and money today, and that's my complaints, I need to do something to change it. Don't let the reason why you should do it be the reason why you don't do it. So a lot of people think the reason why they shouldn't do it is because they don't have time and money. But can we all agree that's the reason why you should do it? So don't let the reason why you should do it be the reason why you don't do it. Very important. So one of the things I was struggling with was time and money. I didn't have enough money to get started, and I was lacking time. But I asked myself, if I don't change something today, what's going to happen tomorrow? So in order for something to be different, I have to do something different. That's why I got involved in the Nexarize opportunity. So look, anyways, I'm really, really excited to, get you enrolled in Nexarize business. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to create your control center for you so you can have more information about the Nexarize opportunity. We can take things to the next level. And look, can you see I'm already assuming that they're going to get started? I've already got the sign up page ready. So perfect. So what's your first name? So in fact, what I want to do, in this moment is I want to choose someone that I want to enroll. Let's choose Willis. Willis, if you don't mind, I'll just unmute you, buddy. And Willis, you and I, we're going to do a little role play. And here's what I want you to do. Willis, I want you to, let's be a little difficult, then semi-difficult, and then let's be very difficult. Okay, when it comes to the money, I want you to be very, very difficult. So I'm going to show you how to handle the objection. Now, here's the key when you're signing someone up. Answer their question, but go back to your question and always assume that they're ready to go. So now I'm going to be closing Willis. Willis, hey, so what did you like the most?
I like the opportunity to have time and money combined. I do want to start a business. It's not easy out there today. So, I like the idea that you can have both together and you can do the things you love.
Absolutely. Listen, I couldn't agree with you more. See an opportunity for yourself?
Yeah, I do see an opportunity for myself. Yeah.
Awesome, brilliant. So Willis, just a quick one. What's your first name? Spell your first name for me.
So my first.
I'm already typing. So did I spell that correctly?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Perfect. And your last name?
My last name is Orome, O-R-O-M-E.
Okay, perfect. Got it. And what's your date of birth, man?
Date of birth is the 28th of February.
Let's just imagine. All right. And your telephone number. And then now, Willis, I want you to start being a little difficult, okay? What's your telephone number?
It's 079. By the way, do I need to? So, are you going to take my number? No.
Yes. So Willis. So look, what I'm basically doing is this. Look, do you agree with me? If you want to learn how to swim, you can't watch videos or read up about how to swim. You need to actually be in the pool to learn how to swim. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree that. Yeah.
Okay. And is it also fair to say that to learn how to drive a car, you can't just read books about how to drive a car. You have to actually be in the car and have an instructor to teach you how to drive a car.
Yes.
Is that a fair statement to say? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's fair.
So remember, I want you to see me as someone who's going to mentor you and guide you and instruct you, on how to actually get started in Nexarize and have success. But do you agree with me? In order for me to do so, I need to give you something like a vehicle, a car, the same way that you need a car, the same way that you need to be in the pool. I need to give you a control center so you can actually have more information about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
And that's what we're doing now. We're just creating your control center. But anyways, Willis, what was your telephone number? Ladies and gents, okay. Let's pause for a moment. Let's pause for a moment. Can you just see what I've done? He's asked me a question. I've answered his question, but I went straight back to his question. I never let that awkward silence. Very, very important. Do not let. How many of you have ever had a conversation with someone and they're like, what did you do today? And it just turns boring. And the penny drops, right? And it turns boring. And I'm sure a lot of us have been in that situation before. The goal is don't let it go silent. You have to be in that momentum of not letting the silence happen. So can you see, I've answered his question and I've gone straight back to my question. So Willis, what was it? So we'll just rewind. He's asked me a question, I've answered it, and we've gone straight back to my question. I've already gone back to my question. So Willis, your telephone number was 079
325.
Awesome, right? So let's just imagine. And your email address, I enter his email address and then address, and then obviously we create URL. And can we all agree that this is the time when they start getting skeptical, when it's time to, to enter the card details? One thing I found in life is that every single person wants to get paid, but no one wants to pay. That's one thing I found in life. Everyone wants to get paid, but no one wants to pay, right? It takes time. It takes financial resources for you to become successful. So, this is absolutely normal. So now, Willis, I want you just to act a bit more difficult and watch how I'm going to answer his question and go back to my question. That's the goal. Don't let it go silent. So, Willis, your card, I'm assuming it's your name?
Yes, my name, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And what's your card number, by the way? Does it start with 44 or does it start with 4? Does it start with 5? Is it a Visa or Master?
I think it's a Master. By the way, so do I have to? Am I signing up now?
So Willis, so look, remember, right now what we're doing is we're creating your control center. So we're enrolling you as an IBO. But please remember, you have 14 days peace of mind, where if you're not happy with anything you see, you have a money back guarantee that within 14 days you get a full refund if you decide that you don't want to continue with the business. That's all you're doing. I'm giving you enough content, enough material, enough information so that you can have, look, I'm just like you. I love to think about things. But when I was told I have 14 days to think whether I want to continue with the business or not, that gave me a peace of mind that my money is safe. And if I don't like what I'm doing, I can always get my refund back. So don't worry, buddy. You're in safe hands. We're going to give you a control center. I'm going to give you basic steps on things to do. You don't have to be, you don't need to be sophisticated to do this business. So don't worry. I got your back. What's your card number? Was it 55? Did you say it was a Master?
Yeah, it was 55. But the thing is, I've got money, but I don't want to lose the money. So how would I,
Absolutely. So here's one thing. You are not losing any money here. All you're doing is enrolling as an IBO. So look, here's the thing. Let me ask you a question, right?
Okay.
Do you agree to have your driver's license? There was an application process that you had to do. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Now, let's say if you want to be a security guard, there was an application process that you had to complete.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
To be a pilot, there was an application process you had to complete. To go to university, there was an application process you have to complete. In Nexarize, there's also an application process that you have to, that we're doing here. But what was your card number? Can you see, ladies and gents? I want to make sure that you're all capturing this. Answer the question and go back to your question. Don't let it go silent. The better you can get at doing this, I promise you, you'll have a much more better sign-up rate. Get good at answering questions. I already know what he's thinking. Out of this scenario, what he's now, the objections he has brings me to what point can I trust it? Remember I said the 4 objections people have. I don't have time. I don't have money. Can I trust it? And who's going to teach me? Those are the 4 doubts that people have in this business. So very, very important. And I know those 4 questions are going to come. So I'm already prepared with my answers to those questions. And that's coming up successfully. So you go back to us answering their question. And I'm telling you, if this was a real life scenario, Willis will probably get involved. Now, remember, yes, it is a little push. I get it. I understand it. It's a little push. Can we all agree? Every single one of us knows that I'm pushing Willis right now. Yes or no? I'm pushing him. But I had to be pushed. Listen, when I go to the gym and I train with my trainer, why do I have a trainer? He pushes me. Very important. If it was me just working out, it would be a different story. I wouldn't push myself. So remember, why is there a manager? Why does a boxer have a trainer? Why does football have a manager? Why does cricket have a manager? Why don't they just have a team that just plays by itself? Have you ever seen a team without a manager? Where? Why? The manager pushes the team. Remember this. Why do people go to places of religious worship? And why do they look at an authoritative figure? The authoritative figure teaches them. He pushes them into the right direction. He steers their morale into the right direction so it can rejuvenate them for the week. So remember, every single one of us needs a push in the right direction. It's so, so important. So yes, I've pushed Willis into getting involved in the opportunity. And that is the key. So sometimes a push in the right direction can be the best push of your life. So ladies and gents, after a presentation, that's how you enroll and close an IBO. Now, here's what I want to briefly do. I want to briefly just show you a new document that we've created. And this is the next launch document. And again, this will really, really help a lot of you with the business in terms of what to do next with an IBO. This is now available on your control center. I really do apologize because we haven't updated the ETT 250 requirements yet. As you know, we changed ETT 250 from 150 PBV is now 120 PBV is what you need to become an ETT 250, okay? But the GBV remains the same. So we're gonna be updating this today and it's gonna be available. But right now, this document is available as it is on your control center. So here's the way that it works, right? The launch document is very, very simple. So it starts off by saying, congratulations on becoming an IBO. You got the start date. You write down the Nexarise website. Your Nexarise website is Lidju Thomas, nexarise.com/Lidju Thomas. You write their business ID. Now, what is the second thing that you ask? The second thing is now, what is your goal? I want to find out what their goal is. Why? Because their goal is, remember, their goal is like a navigation system. Listen, the reason why most people aren't where they want to be in life is because they don't write down their goal. Write down your goal. What's your, look, the reason why we didn't put what's your reason why is your reason why is very, very broad. But your goal in football, they don't score reason whys. They score goals. Very important. It's about goals. Why? Goals are timed. Very important. Your goals have to be SMART, S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. Very important. So ask them, what's your goal? What's your goal? What would you like to accomplish? You know what? I would love to one day just take care of my family. And now be specific. Ask them financially, how much would it take to take care of your family? Well, I would probably need £10,000 a month to take care of my family. Now, what's the first thing that comes on my mind when they say 10,000 a month? I'm already thinking about Regional Director 10. So my entire goal now on step number 3 is show them the game plan on how to get to Regional Director 10. Well, the first thing you want to do is all qualified. How do you become customer qualified? You need to acquire £100 in personal business volume. If you do this within your first 30 days, you make a £50 bonus straight back, right? Very, very simple. Now your goal is to become ETT 100. You know how you got £100 PBV here? Now let's help 3 people to now do the exact same thing. If you help 3 people, including yourself, that's now 100 yourself, 3 other people 100. That's now £400 in PBV, in GBV. Now that you got £400 GBV, you are now an executive team trainer 100. Now, how do you now go up to the next position? Help those 3 people now do the exact same thing. As soon as those 3 people do the exact same thing, so they help 3 other people. So you now have 3 people, help those 3 people, help 3 people. As soon as you do that, you will accumulate enough GBV to now become an executive team trainer 250. Now that you're an executive team trainer 250, what do you now need to do? Help those 3 people do exactly what you did. Now you will become an executive team leader 500. Now, what do you now do? Double your business and go to executive team leader. What do you do executive team leader? Just do a bit more and now become TC 3000. Then get to TC 5000, the regional director 10. This is the goal that we're working towards, right? This is the goal. You want to become a regional director 10. However, don't worry. Here's the main thing. The first thing that we've got to do right now is we need to help you to become a customer qualified IBO. That is the first goal we need to help you do. So how do you become customer qualified? It takes me to step number 4, right? How do you become qualified? Well, we have different price plans and products. We just listed a few. We listed the ones that give you the highest BV on every single package. So for example, we got the Next Pro and Arise Academy, which is currently on discount until the 15th. You got home care cover, where the platinum plan gives you £10 in BV. You got Lifestyle by Nexarise, which gives you £40 in PBV. You now got the Next Mobile, You got O2 Large and Vodafone Large. We didn't want to put the next special in there. We just decided to put the O2 Large and Vodafone Large just to keep it, you know, consistent. You got Business Energy, Tech by Nextrise, Next Protect. So I just asked them, what customers would you like to acquire so you can now get your first £100 in PBV and become customer qualified? Now look, they can do it themselves. They can acquire other customers. It really doesn't matter. As long as they get their £100 PBV, they are now customer qualified. Now, ladies and gents, the way to do this is, remember, we're steering towards regional director 10. So the question is this, right? Very, very important. Just tell them, hey, listen, let me ask you a question, right? Let's just imagine Andre. Andre, let me ask you a question. If now everyone in your team joined and they all got their £100 PBV and they all became customer qualified, but you weren't customer qualified, how much money do you make? You make zero. To receive money, you need to be qualified to make money. I can't pay you as a salary. I can't pay you a salary as a doctor if you aren't qualified. I can't pay you a salary as a pilot if you aren't qualified. So remember, to get paid in Nexarize, you must be customer qualified. So here's what we got to do. Let's get you customer qualified. Let's get your first £100 PBV so you can now become customer qualified and we can now help you build your team. Now, ladies and gents, right now in this pandemic that we are in, there's never been a better time to build a home-based business like Nexarize. There really hasn't. Why? You can do a Zoom webinar right now at 1 p.m. You can launch someone that very same day. And I advise people really right now, there's no point in even waiting to launch someone in 24 hours. As soon as they get signed up to the business, let them go have a half an hour break, get back on a call and go through this with them. You know, launch them. This is what you got to do. You got to launch the IBO. Signing up is one thing. Enrolling is, but enrollment is one thing, but signing up is another thing. Getting them through the process is something. So remember, they first sign up, but now we're enrolling them into the system. Signing up is one thing, enrollment is something else. Very, very important. So now we help them build their team. Now, the first thing I always tell people in order to build a team, I always ask them this question. Look, if I have one regret in my life, especially when it comes to network marketing and business, one regret I have is I wish when I've signed up to my previous company, I wish I introduced my closest family members first before I built a team. Why? I had one team that had 15,000 people in there. One of my legs in my previous company had 15,000 people. Now imagine if I had signed up, you know, my mother, for example. If I signed up my mother and I put 15,000 people under her and my father as my leg too and sign up people under him, just to imagine. So remember, the first group of people I want to see is their family. Why? Can we all agree right now, if I say to my mom, I'm at home, and if I say to my mom, I need you to come to my house right now in the next 1 hour. She will drop everything she's doing and she would come. Even though she will ask me a question, but what is it about, Ahmed? Like, why do I need to come? Mom, it's urgent. I really need to show you something. Please don't ask questions. Just make sure that you come. Can we all agree? She's going to drop everything she's doing and she's going to come. Why? There's love between us. There's trust between us and there's respect between us. So remember, the closest friends and family are the least in viewing the opportunity. Now, they might be skeptical after. They might not believe in it after. That's okay. Because my friends and family didn't believe in it when I first started the opportunity. But they were the first people to see the business. It will be so much more easy. They're the easiest people to show the business. But the mistake I did, right? The mistake I did was I didn't show my family. The first people I went to was my friends. I went to my friends, right? So very, very important. So what you now want to do is, in terms of building a team, tell them, hey, look, I'm going to help you grow your team. I want you to think about who's your closest friends and family. You don't want to leave them behind. Who are the most influential people you know? Now, first, let them write down their close friends and family. So we've got step 6 here where they can actually write a list. So, for example, let's imagine they now write out, you know, their mom and their dad and their other half and their brother, their sister, their uncle and aunties and so on and so forth. By the time they get to around 8 people, they'll probably run out of names, let's just say. Now you ask them, okay, so who's the most influential person you know, or the person with the best work ethic who really needs an opportunity? Write them down. You want to help them create a list of 20 people then and there in the launch and help them make phone calls. Now, here's what I do. My goal is, because of the pandemic, everyone's already at home. Everyone has time. I want to sign someone up at 1 p.m. I want to launch 1 p.m. I do the presentation, finish the presentation, let them go have a break, let them go relax for half an hour, get back on a launch call with them. I want them to make calls. Why? That same day, that same evening, I want to be in front of their people straight away. Very, very simple. How do you invite someone right now in this moment that we're in? Let's say their closest friends and family first. Hey, listen, you know, there's something I need to show you, mom or dad or brother or sister, whoever. Listen, there's something I need to show you. It's about making money. Listen, I don't have time, but I'm going to send you a link. Can you please make sure that you are on this link at 7 p.m. this evening? I've got someone that's going to show us how to get financially ahead. They're going to be showing us the ropes. They're going to be showing us how to make additional money. I'm really, really excited for you to see this. Please make sure that you are on the call. Just give them an invitation. Remember, the best way to invite is curiosity. You don't want to tell them, oh, it's Nexarize, it's network marketing, oh, it's a business. Oh, just tell them, I found a way that we can make money. Now, look, ladies and gents, the key to inviting someone is be genuine. Don't sugarcoat things. Don't fluff things. Don't hype things. Just be genuine. Honestly, when you invite people and it comes from the heart, people will receive it from the heart. If you invite from your mind, they'll start thinking with their mind as well. And I used to be genuine people. Hey, listen, there's something I need to show you about making money. Look, I'm genuinely excited about this. You know, at 7 p.m., I've got a mentor of mine who's going to be coming on, and they're going to show us how we can get financially ahead. I'd love you to see it. I've only selected a handful of people to come and see this. And you're one of those hand-selected people because I really trust and I respect you as a person. And I want both of us to get financially ahead together. If I send you the link, can you please make sure you're on at 7 p.m.? That same day, you can get their people on. Get their people on, do the presentation, and repeat step 1. Remember, step 2, repeat step 1. Step 3, repeat step 1. Step 4, repeat step 1. Ladies and gents, just imagine, during this time that we're in, really just repeated this and took advantage of this document that we now have available in your control center. Where do you think your business can be by the end of the year? How many people do you think you can expose the business to? We all have free time. As I look through everyone's, on this webinar, I can see everyone, a lot of people are at home, so right now more than ever, it's time to grow your business, take your business to the next level, and really take advantage of the timing that we are in at Nexarize. So with that being said, look, that's my part of the training done. I want to really just thank everyone, but most importantly, I want to now take some questions. And look, your question can be about anything. We really want to take some questions. I know Stephen and, John, they've already kind of collaged some questions together that they will ask. And if anyone does have questions, just please type it on the chat. I'm looking at the chat now. I'll be more than happy to read off your question and answer it. So with that being said, let's get cracking with the questions. And John and Stephen, if you guys want to unmute yourself, and if there's any question that you want to ask, please feel free to do so.
Perfect, Ahmed. I think someone sent me a question. Let me just check it.
Sure. If there's no questions, I must say I love you guys as a group.
No, I hope there's a few questions.
You're the only group that has not asked questions, but I'm kidding. I know everyone's typing. I'm looking at everyone's cameras and people are like this. So cool, let's go. Can you speak more? Okay, so let's start with Karima's question, right? So she said, can you talk more about the services that we are supposed to sell? The reality, Karima, is there really is no services that you're supposed to sell, but it's more about adding value. And Karima, I can see you right here, by the way. So I'm going to look at you, right? So the main thing, it's not about services that you have to sell. It really is about just the services that really add value to people. I honestly believe all our services, they really have value. So for example, Arise Academy, for example, right? One might think to themselves, but I don't want to pay £120 a month. That's a lot of money. And I get that, believe me, and I understand and I respect that. But if you just take a look at Arise Academy just as a sole product, for example, what does it do? Firstly, there's a course available, right? I mean, so, oops, wrong screen. So look, let me just go on to our website. So just bear with me, guys. My internet is not in the greatest of health, but you all can hear me, right? Just the minute I go out, please just tell me that I'm
sure.
So let me just log in. Perfect. So let me now share my screen. So let's just take a look at Arise Academy, right? So Arise Academy currently, if you become a customer, £20 a month, right? Now you're wondering, but why am I going to pay £120? That's a lot of money, etc., etc. I understand, believe me. I know £120 is not easy for a lot of people, and I get that. But let's take a look at the value. What does Arise Academy do? So you can see my profile here. Firstly, if you take a look at my user profile, you can see my name and a few other details and so on and so forth. But again, I don't want to be giving out my personal details, so it's there, but you can see I'm an ex-pro member. Now, the first thing that you get at Arise Academy is you get courses, but you also get a Telegram channel. So here's what every single one of you have to do when you're a customer. Please download an app which is called Telegram, okay? Now, when you download this app, it's called Telegram. It's almost like, not like WhatsApp, but is more suitable for Forex. So what you do is log on Arise, so download the app on your phone, then log on Arise Academy from your phone and go onto your user profile like I did, but from your phone. As soon as you do this, when you click on Telegram, it will now take you to our Next Arise Telegram channel. When you go onto the Next Arise Telegram channel, what we do on that channel is we send you something called signals. Now, currently on this, on our Next Arise Signal platform, we've got 553 people in this group. Now, it's not a group where people message and stuff. It's a one-way communication group. It's like we post and people can write comments on that post. So you won't get notifications for that post. Remember, you only get notifications if we post in the main group, which is the admin post on that group. Now, what Signals is this. Firstly, what you have to do is you have to learn the course, because what the course does, it teaches you more about trading, okay? What is trading? So look, I mean, I'll just show you. So if you can literally go onto my courses and streaming. Now, firstly, we have 2 languages available at the moment. So we have Spanish and we have English available. So if you want to go into Spanish, you just click on go on Spanish. Now your entire website turns into Spanish and the course turns into Spanish as well, right? So you can see now the courses are here. It's your basic level, you got English and Spanish. Now, if you want to go into English, then you just have English. So what you now do is you go on to the basic level, or you can go to it in Spanish. Now you can go to the basic level. What you can now do is you can now start the course. Now, what does...
Ahmed, you've cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, apologies. So you can now see the course content. It first teaches you about the financial market, basic information, and so on and so forth. Then you do a test at the end to complete it. So once you go through this course, you would now know the basis of trading. I'll give you an example. I swear we've had people that studied our course. We was on another call yesterday. One gentleman, in one day, because of the signals we sent, he now placed 4 trades. He made £1,500 on the foreign exchange market, £1,500, and he was at home doing it. This is outside of Next Arise with Arise Academy only. Very important. Arise Academy, he pays 120 and he gets £100 in volume on a monthly basis to grow his business as well, keeps him custom qualified and so on. So when you see the value of that in itself, it really is great. Think about home care. All of us are at home. Every single one of us are home. Can we agree? Because we spend more time at home, things are likely to break down. Whether it's a boiler repair or your heating breaks down and so on. That's what home care cover is for. We're going to launch Next Mobile late next week. Again, mobile phone service, everyone needs it. If you take a look at our other services, such as the travel product, even though people aren't traveling right now, why not build hotel reward credits? So by the time the pandemic is done, what's the first thing people are going to travel? What's the first thing people are going to do? They're going to travel. So there's value in the products and services we do. But for me, it's not about telling which one is value. I honestly believe they're all valuable. It's about you deciding which one you think is the most valuable and really selling after customers and really selling it to them. But honestly, I love Arise Academy. It's a new skill. And let me tell you something, trading is one skill that no one can take away from you. Don't get me wrong. You can lose money in trading, but you can also win money. But that's the main thing, is about learning enough that you minimize your losses and you maximize your wins. I'll give you an example. Just this week, because it was the US elections, we didn't send out much signals. So what signals are? We tell people what currencies to trade on. So we sent 10 signals and 7 won by like many price points, many. So we had people that made a lot of money, right? So just think about it. So our quality of signals are really, really good. So it's a skill that you can do anywhere around the world. You can be in India, you can be in Portugal, you can be in South America, you can be in Spain. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have a laptop and Wi-Fi connection, you can take away from you. So I really see it as a valuable product. But again, it's all about learning it and really going after which service is the most valuable to you. Is it a numbers game and you're doing it part-time? How many people should you be speaking to weekly? honestly, on it, like for me, I was speaking to at least a few people every day. And honestly, when I first started, it was like 10 people a day. But then I remember even one point speaking to 40, 50 people a day. But then there was times I was speaking to a few people a day. Every single time, I would make sure that I'm speaking to people. I think social media, especially right now in this time that we're in, it's a great place to connect with people. You can literally just randomly follow someone, comment on their post, just say great stuff, cool content, really love your material. Maybe slide into their DMs and say, hey, how you doing? Listen, I know we're current, because right now, look, most people are sharing the same common goal. And what is that? We're all in lockdown together. Hey, listen, how you doing, man? Listen, just checking up. How's the lockdown treating you? So people are willing today to be open-minded. I know when someone messages me, I definitely have a conversation. If I have time, I get a lot of messages, but whenever I have time, I would reply to people, and I just really have a conversation with people, especially if it's people that I don't already know. So again, there are a lot of people you can speak to. It's all about it. 100%. It's a numbers game. The person that speaks to them, you speak to no one, you make no money. Speak to some people, you make some money. Speak to a lot of people, you make a lot of money. So I would honestly say it really is what do you define as part-time? That's the main thing. For me, I was doing my business 3 to 4 hours every day, even though I was working 60, 70 hours a week. Why? It was a priority for me. I tell people every single one of us has time. And here's how you have time. In the amount of hours we have in a week is 168 hours. Here's what I want every single one of you to do. Please try this experiment right now. Write 168 hours on your notepad right now if you can, please. Or just get out your phones and put it on a calculator. Can everyone do that? So let's put 168 hours on a paper. Or let's write it down on our phones. I want to just see everyone just doing this experiment with me. Perfect. So good. I can see everyone's doing it. Really good. So 168 hours. Now, you shouldn't be sleeping more than 8 hours. If you're sleeping more than 8 hours, you're losing valuable time. I swear to you. I sleep 6 hours a day, right? It is rare. I mean, today I slept at 2:30 this morning and I was up like around 10:30. That was more than enough for me. That was 8 hours. It's a long sleep for me. Normally, I sleep at 2 and I'm up like 7:30, right? I'm not telling you to do that. But for me, 6 hours, I'm good to rock and roll. 6 hours, I'm good, right? So remember, because for me, time is everything. I don't want to spend 8 hours just sleeping or 10 hours sleeping. Think about that. That's like half of your day almost gone. Some people even sleep longer. So remember, time is money. Very important. So I want you to now, let's say we sleep 8 hours a day and we sleep, we obviously sleep 7 days a week, right? So now if you times 8 by 7, that's now 56 hours. So now take away 56 hours from 168. Everyone should have 112 hours remaining, okay? So now you have 112 hours remaining. Here's what I now want you to do. I want you now to take away from those 112 hours, I want you to now take away the amount of hours you spend at work. Now, most people spend around 40 hours a week at work. So take away 40 hours. That now leaves you with 72 hours. Now, let's just imagine you spend about an hour a day cooking food or eating, or around 2 hours a day eating food or cooking or whatever, right? So let's even times 2 hours a day by 7, that's now 14. So now take away 14 from that number. You're left with 58 hours. Now let's even imagine you now travel. You travel an hour a day, back and forth, back and forth. So that's 2 hours you spend on traveling a day, which most people don't. But let's just imagine 2 hours a day and you travel. So that's 10 hours that you now spend on traveling. That's now 48 hours remaining. What else do you do? TV, don't watch TV. TV is, it should be a treat. It should be a privilege. Just cut your TV time. Cut things that don't benefit you in, moving your future forward. Unnecessary conversations, just chilling on social media and just browsing it around. Cut out unnecessary, unproductive time. So that leaves you with 48 hours you're left with a week. Let me ask you a question. Where is those 48 hours going? Do you know where they're going? I'll tell you exactly where they're going. Something which is unaccounted for gets missed. Something which is unaccounted for gets missed. What do they do in school when there's a fire drill? They count every single student. Why is there a register? They count every single student. So if you don't account for it, you miss it. Why do people overspend? They don't plan it. They don't account for it. So if you don't plan your time, you wouldn't even know where your time goes. So I know every single one of us has at least 20 to 30 to 48 hours every week spare. What if you spent 20 hours a week on your Nexarize business? That's like almost 3 hours a day. Where could you be with your business doing it 3 hours a day? What if you spent more time? So the reality is part-time is up to you. I class part-time as 3-4 hours a day. I class that as part-time. That's a part-time business. So very, very important. Spend your time on the right things. The other question, can someone purchase Forex course to do it in South America, Bolivia? Unfortunately, Rafa, we cannot do that. Even though, yes, on the system, they'll be able to do it. But unfortunately, as a company, we don't allow it and we don't promote it. The reason why is because we want to operate the business legally. And because we're in 5 countries, we're able to acquire customers in the 5 countries that we're in. But don't worry, Rafa, because really our goal is to expand all around the world. And I'll tell you this from now, we really, in our first 3 to 5 years, we want to be in at least 40, 50 countries around the world. And South America is a big part of the world that we definitely want to be having a presence in every territory. So, it's just a question of time. So we're going to be coming to that very, very soon. And we please see the slides again. Yeah, sure. So go on to the control center and the launch document will be available. Now with Lidju Thomas's slides, we'll make that available as well next week. Is there any problem if we get paid on someone else's name? Of course there is, unfortunately, right? You can't, because remember, a next pay, even though that's a good question, that's a back alleyway question, as I say, is a real question. So I appreciate that. But look, because with NextPay, most of you should receive the email link by now. When you register for NextPay to upload an ID document, we have to do that from our bank as a verification method to verify that it's the person who is getting paid is the person that they state that they are. So again, I would not recommend doing that. However, you can look. I mean, if let's say your other half or your brother or your sister want to sign up to the business, and you have their ID and they register for NextPay and they're building the business and you're helping them, we have no reservations with that. Is Lifestyle by Nexarize a top? I don't understand. Calls. I like to do Zoom rather than 3-way calls. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Is Lifestyle by Nexarize? Oops. I'm sorry, Shade. I'm trying to understand the question, but yeah. So I rather than 3-way calls, I like to do Zoom calls. I like people to see and really have that interaction and that dialogue. I'm struggling to get on access to product training material. Can you please advise me? Look, Natalie, the reality is right now, if you go onto our YouTube channel, Nexarize YouTube channel, you're going to see a lot of content we have where we do products and services training, where we speak about the benefits of all of them. So please make sure that you look at all the material that we have there. I was told by a representative by Nexarize that the travel will give us £80 in hotel credits. Is only for a year. Can you clarify? So our travel by Nexarize product is actually not £80 a month. We actually give £120 a month in hotel reward credits. So just please bear that in mind. £120 a month in hotel reward credits is what we give. And we will allocate the reward credits. We're currently working on a way to streamline it and even make it better. So the way that it would work is, this is something we're working on, by the way. We will announce it next week once we get it done. But we're looking for a way to allocate the reward credits even quicker. So what we were trying to work on is, because remember, someone can cancel within 14 days. So we cannot allocate reward credits before that. So what we're trying to do is allocate it on the 15th of every month after their first 15 days. So after their first 15 days, the next 15th that comes up, we're trying to allocate them hotel reward credits. Okay. So that's with regards to Lifestyle by Nexarize. But we're going to announce that to everyone very, very shortly. Hi, Ahmed. Can someone outside the UK, Scandinavia sign up to Lifestyle? I've already answered that question when the other gentleman asked it. Unfortunately, no. But again, as I said, we do have plans to expanding all around the world. Is it possible to make a one-time payment for Arise Academy for they can enjoy the service? If you're saying Arise Academy is £120 a month. So if you're saying a one-time payment, like a yearly payment, yes, that is something that we are working towards, but right now it's not available. Any recommended books for network marketing? 100%. There's a book called Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark and Renee Yarnell. Amazing book. Go Pro by Eric Worre. Another amazing book. And there's another book which is called Building an Empire by Brian Caranthus. Very, very good book. So Your First Year in Network Marketing, Go Pro, and Building an Empire. Really, really good books.
Hey,
How do we
Ahmed.
lead and motivate? Yes.
Yeah, Shadi's question was, is Lifestyle by Nextrise at all protected?
Okay, fine, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if the customers, and how do we prove that to the customers also?
so it's not at all protected, because we don't need to be at all protected, because we don't do holiday packages. You only need to be at all protected when you're doing flights and hotels and is a package combined.
Okay.
That's what ATOL is. You don't need to be ATOL protected if you're just selling flights. And, companies like Expedia and these companies, they are, because they do holiday packages. We don't do holiday packages. We sell flights separately. We sell hotels separately, and we sell cruises separately. We don't do package holidays. Hence why we're not ATOL protected, and we're not really needed. So don't let no one throw you off. They say, oh, if you're not ATOL protected, you're not legal. It has nothing to do with that. You only need to be ATOL protected. It's like, I don't need to be, I don't need to have child protection, a child protection certification to be a parent. Does that make sense? It's unnecessary because I don't have a nursery. Does that make sense? So very important. We don't need to be ATOL protected because we're not doing holiday packages. ATOL's only needed for holiday packages. So I've understood the question now. How do we lead and motivate future IBOs who are in countries which we haven't launched yet? Also, do we have a date for Tech by Nextrise? So Tech by Nextrise is going to be right after the Next Mobile launch. So as soon as we launch Next Mobile, Tech by Nextrise is literally going to be right after that. So we're going to be launching that very, very soon. And again, look, man, for people that are in countries that we just haven't launched there, I promise you, you're going to see 2020. We're going to expand into many, many countries. So as people see Nextrise growing, we're right now top leaders from other companies like SVPs, in America, telling us, man, we can't wait for Nextrise to come. And we're just telling them, look, it's just a question of time before we expand around the world. Sit tight, wait for us. We will make it happen. And again, it's not about keeping them motivated. Just be real with them. I don't want to string someone along for 3 years. I would just tell them, look, we are going to come. I promise you, I've got you on my list. As soon as we come, you're going to be the first person that's going to know about it. So question is, hi, Ahmed, how do we approach people to sell products and services in the correct way? So again, look, when you're acquiring customers, it really is about building value. So for example, even though I'm a founder, I actually acquired 4 customers on Arise Academy. And the way that I do that is, a lot of people are spending time at home and a lot of people are looking for ways of making additional income. So I just said to a few friends and family members of mine, hey, look, would you like to learn a new skill right now, such as trading in the foreign exchange market? So imagine, it's like having your very own currency exchange. You know how there are bureau de change and people are actually sitting there, and when you go to an airport and you're changing euros for pounds, etc., and someone takes your euros and they give you pounds instead. That's called currency exchange. So it's like you're doing this digitally from your mobile phone. Hey, would you like to learn how to make money in the foreign exchange market? It's a £5 trillion industry daily. So how about if I teach you how to do this? And the way that you could do it is through our Rise Academy product, etc., etc. So show them that they can actually learn a new skill. Hey, look, I noticed you're spending a lot of time at home. Would you be interested in taking a look at maybe a home care product? Now, another approach is a favor, help, why, try. Hey, listen, I need a huge favor. I need you to help me with the business I just started. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to support my family. I want to change my life around. Then try my service. Would you please try my service? So there are many, many ways that you can really acquire customers. But it's all about building that value for the product and service, because someone doesn't want to just do it just for the sake of it, but it's more about building the value for it. So I'm just trying to go through these as much as I can. I have seen the course for X amount of time. How about Arise Academy? How long does the course last? So look, so the main thing for us is we made our course, I think our course is like around 4 to 5 hours at the most. The reason why we did that is because of this. It's like when, let's say you want to learn how to, I don't know, how to restart this iPhone. I'm going to go on YouTube, go on one video and see how to do it, right? I'm not going to look at 10,000 hours worth of videos. So the reality is you don't need a lot of content to learn. What our academy does is a few hours, because we want people to be able to focus and understand for those few hours. And the main benefit of our product is really the signals that you're sent and the other services that tie in with it. So very, very important. It's not about, we can put 10,000 hours out there of content, as soon as you see 10,000 hours, you're not even going to want to sit there for 10,000 hours. Reality, right? You want to know that a movie is going to end in 2 hours. You know, I love the Titanic as a movie, but I don't watch the Titanic frequently. Do you know why? I know it's 3.5 hours. I start the movie today, I finish tomorrow. Does that make sense? So people, they can get through the content, they like to know, wow, I can actually learn how to trade in 6 hours by going through one webinar a day, or maybe pausing it. And because remember, even though it is 5-6 hours, there is a lot of material. So what some material it requires for you to pause it, take notes, go on YouTube, learn it more, understand it more, go back to it. So remember, it does take time. So it's around 5 hours. Hello, when would House Energy start and the internet, right? So actually, we're going to be launching Home Energy very, very soon. I think it's going to be in early 2021. That's the goal for us to be launching Home Energy. Also, we're currently working on a broadband and TV phone deal as well. That's going to take some time, but those services are something that we're definitely working on, that we're really excited about. And it's just a question of time, but that'll be coming very, very, very soon. With Lifestyle by Nexarize, best price promise. If you've already booked with Lifestyle but find it cheap, yes, absolutely. So what will happen is, if you make a booking, right, and you find a cheaper rate, but please remember, I'm not saying every hotel. I'm talking about the hotels that have the savings. For example, let's say a hotel has 74% off, right? Now, if it has 74% off and you now find a cheaper price anywhere else, what we will do is we will refund you the difference. So let's imagine it's £600 and you paid £600, but you saw it somewhere else for £500. The difference is 100. So we'll give you £100 back, but it's just not that. We'll give you that £100 back, plus we give you 10% on top of that 100. Very, very important. So what's 10% of 100? £10. So we give you £110 back. We found the difference. How do we pay you? We pay you via PayPal. So we'll literally transfer the money to you via PayPal right away. So the difference, we'll refund it to you. For the travel package, how are you able to offer discounts for hotels, etc.? Are you affiliate with travel companies? Absolutely. So look, so what we do is we have all these companies, because remember, hotels set the rate, and what most companies do is they now mark it up, such as Expedia, Kayak, all these companies. They're all like one search engine, Agoda, and so on. Now with our platform, we already have Expedia, we have Agoda, we have Kayak, we have all these companies that they're already in our platform. Now, rather than us marking up the hotels for additional price like those companies do, we just use the base price, and that is how we're able to provide savings. What these companies do is, where they mark it up drastically, we don't do that. We actually provide the customer savings, and we still get the value from those hotels. With Lifestyle by Nexarize, dock in a suitcase bag. Can you use it for 7? Yes, you can use it for 7 days consecutive. From the very first day you use it, that's 7 days. If you use it for 7 days consecutive, then your 7 days is already used. So again, you can use 3 days because you're traveling to one place, and you can use it 4 days for another travel. Can people ask, I think I already answered this question. Will my PBV help me help the GBV for anyone that joins my business? Yeah, so your PBV does count towards your GBV. So if you did 1,000 PBV yourself, that counts towards your group volume. So if you did 1,000, so let's say you did 1,200 in PBV yourself, you'll be ETL 250. You'll be ETT 250. If you did 2,500 PBV, you'll be ETL 500. So yes, your personal volume does count towards your group volume. Hi, Ahmed, Daniel, Vanessa here from Australia. Just wondering, at what point during the close do you give up on pushing and move on to the next one? So as soon as they turn around and say, look, I am not signing up no matter what, I just close that book and say, look, thank you so much for your time. Highly appreciate it. And that's when you move on. So whenever you start to see that it really is more than pushing and it's more becomes forcing, that's when you just have to say, okay, you know what, it's time to walk away. Is it possible to offer services? I think I answered this question already. Hi, Ahmed, for life, the credits are allocated on the 15th. That means to die. Yeah, that's a very, very good question. So we're already working on this, Veronica. Very, very valid point. We've already thought about this scenario, that if someone, let's say, signs up, on the 5th, or let's say the 14th, and it's allocated, so they sign up on the 16th, actually, better scenario, 17th they sign up, then that means their 30 days ends after the 15th, and then they get, so what we're trying to do, what we're working on is a way that, because remember, we can't allocate it within 15 days. You know why? Someone can take the hotel credits, they can use it, and they can cancel their account. We don't want that because we lose money as a company. So it just doesn't make sense, right? So what we want to do is we don't want to allocate credits within their first 15 days, 14 days on the 15th day. So after 15 days, the first 15th of that month is when we'll allocate the hotel reward credits. That's what we're working towards. So stay tuned. We will be working for that. We'll be working towards that. How do you get to qualified IBO? You need £100 in personal business volume. For example, if you did an Arise Academy customer, that's £100 personal business volume, you'll be qualified. Or you can do it with another series of products and services that accumulate to £100 in PBV. Can I buy a package through Lifestyle by Nextrise and give it to someone else? Hence, I buy it and give it to them for my sister or my friend. Well, look, your close friends and family, your hotel reward credits, you can use it to book them hotels and flights, yes. But your membership is your membership. Just remember this. I want to just distinguish the two. I can't give my gym membership to my friend to go in and use the gym. But your hotel reward credits, you can do bookings from your Lifestyle by Nextrise to your close friends and family. But what we don't want is someone saying they're a travel agent and they're in partnership with all these hotels and they can provide up to 8% of hotels worldwide. That becomes a problem for us because that actually is not the case. And again, you know, our regulators will ask us questions if they see that. But you can book hotels for your for your family and very close friends. If you take out the pro trading package, that's what it says. The age for joining Nextrise, yes, is 18. Hi Ahmed, when are we going to find out who partners providers for the Scandinavia? So Scandinavia countries, we already have products there. We already have Arise Academy. We have Lifestyle by Nextrise, and we're going to be launching Tech by Nextrise there. We're currently working on other partnerships in Scandinavia as well, such as energy. We're working on a security alarm system. So we'll be rolling out those services soon. But in the meantime, you can sell Lifestyle and Arise Academy customers can be acquired in Scandinavia. We already have, in fact, 3 ETL 1000s in Scandinavia already, and someone's very, very close to TC 3000. So the business is already building there. PAM enrollment, is it legal process? And 18 is, yeah, so yeah, of course, the enrollment process is completely legal. It was actually formed by our lawyers. And again, to see our legal team, just go on YouTube, type Nextrise legal team, you'll see all of them. And yeah, 18 is the legal age to get involved in Nextrise. So ladies and gents, that's all the questions. I'm really thankful for your time. I know it's been a longer call than we expected, but I'd rather have these questions because look, and as Lidju said, look, you will never find, I promise you, a network marketing company where founders come on a call and have dialogues with people and answer questions. You know, not my previous company, that never ever happened even once. So look, for us, it's not ego. We're all on the same page. We all want to make it. We want this to work as much as you want it to work. The same way you want this to work for your family, you know, we want this to work for our family. So we're really, really excited and encouraged about everything which is happening at Nextrise. So with that being said, thank you so much for all being on this call. Highly appreciated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand it back to Mr. John Oladunje to close out the call. John, back over to you.
Just before you leave the call, could we get you just to recognize 2 phenomenal individuals? In fact, we actually skipped a slide, but I just checked, and I think it's only fair that we do recognize them, and it comes directly from yourself as well. And these are the 2 individuals.
Yes, Sam Manchin, ETT 250. Congratulations, guys. You guys already know, man, that I have respect for you guys. We work together in ACN very, very closely. And yeah, onwards and upwards. Really, really happy for you guys. Well done.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar. And thank you to Mr. Lidju Thomas as well. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time. I feel like someone has just opened up my brain and just take a load of information and just placed it in. But like I always say to every single person, information is very important. Information changes situation. Now, what we've received is now about applying it and using it to good use. And it's very, very important that you guys apply that. But we want to just show our appreciation on the groups. And I'm just going to open up the chat. If you guys just want to show how grateful you are to the founders for taking the time out. And that goes for the president of the company and the CEO. So thank you so much, Mr. Ahmed Mukhtar. And huge thank you to Mr. Lidju Thomas for that wonderful mindset training that he gave to each and every one of us. Now, ladies and gents, look, we're going to close out the call. You know, but before we do have some exciting information that we want to share with you. It's not another promotion, not yet, but one's coming. But I'm just going to hand the call over to Stephen Ovaro, TC5000, just to share and start the conversation off based on what we want to implement and really offer the team. You know, for us, it's very important that we're seeing people grow. As days go by, as weeks go by, you guys are attaining the positions that you want. And it's about helping you guys get to those positions as quick as possible, because we want every single person to make money. And that's the objective. Everyone in the position that are, financially, have better benefits, just based on what Nexarise has to offer. So I'm going to let Stephen start the conversation, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. Over to you, Stephen.
Thank you, John. Honestly, guys, I'm just so inspired. I'm so grateful for this call. I'm sure that if I'm inspired and excited by this call, I'm sure every single one of you were inspired and really were able to learn so much from the co-founders. We are absolutely lucky to have these individuals. I've been feeling ever so grateful for the last few days. I just wanted to say as well, thank you so much to everyone that messaged, that made TC 5000 possible. Honestly, this is a team promotion. We're making history. We're one of the first few TC 5000s ever history in the company. So that just goes to show that Residual Makers is really making residuals. And that's the most important thing about, our team. And that's why we made it this name, because of having a team that's ultimately winning. And the reason that we wanted to actually have this short little conversation with you guys is that myself, John, Gemma, and a few other leaders, we were thinking of incentives that we could come up with, because yes, the opportunity is about making money, changing our families' lives around, but it's also about experience. Everything to me is always about experiences. We work so hard to make money so that we can better our experiences and our families' experiences. So we had a bit of an idea, and we just thought, what is it that we can do for the team to give back, to create even more of a buzz, more of an excitement, to even brand the name Residual Makers out there even more. And we were just really thinking, and something that we've been wanting to do for a little while, and in fact, since we started Nexarise, we said, you know what, when we get our promotions, we really want to fly out to Dubai and have a great holiday and be able to just spend a week at least all together, just celebrating our success, celebrating our accomplishments. So an idea that we came up with was to actually, before I even mention it, we just wanted to really have a good experience in Dubai. I know that right now, we're not able to fly out, etc. But we're going to be planning a trip probably in between January, February, March times, depending on how the whole lockdown situation plays out. But hopefully we're not in a lockdown by that time. And what we wanted to do is anyone that gets promoted in the month of November, so till the end of the month, I believe we still have about 3.5 weeks left. What we wanted to do is anyone that gets promoted to the position of ETL 1000, this is what we had in mind. Anyone that hits the position of ETL 1000, we basically wanted to cover their flights to go to Dubai. However, we were thinking some more, we were looking at, everyone that's about to get promoted, and we've got so many people about to hit ETL 1000, ETL 500, and we thought, what if we lower that criteria and we paid for a flight for those people that achieve the position of ETL 500. Now look, there's a few criteria that we need to meet. First of all, the first criteria is you need to be subscribed to our platinum package with travel, because obviously we're promoting travel, so it only makes sense to actually be subscribed to that. The second thing is, if you already have more than £2,000 PBV, then you basically would need to rank up to the position of ETL 1000 to be able to achieve the actual flights, which myself and John are actually going to cover as we've hit the position of TC. But what we wanted to announce is anyone that's got under £2,000 PBV or GBV right now will be able to qualify to hit. When you hit ETL 500, we will pay for the first, let's just say should we say 7 individuals?
Let's say 7 individuals.
All right, the first 7 individuals this month to hit ETL 500, we will pay for your flights to go to Dubai, to enjoy some time out there with us, to celebrate all our hard work. And that's something that we've wanted, some of us have wanted for quite some time. So we just wanted to set that little incentive. I know that, for example, Laurel has set some incentives for a team. I know Jem is going to be setting some incentives. Last night I was talking to Kevin. I know he's going to set some incentives for his team. So there's going to be many, many more incentives, but this is just an incentive from myself and from John, that for the first 7 people to hit ETL 500 this month, We want to pay for your flights to come to Dubai and celebrate at least a week or a few days away with us. So that's something that we're really looking forward to. Yeah, anything else you want to add, John?
No, that's literally it. I'm just pretty much excited, and I really can't see. I can't wait to see who achieves that position within time. I know there's a lot of people that are very close. When I say very close, they're their rank advancement bar says like 90%, someone 98%, someone like literally 99%. So there's a lot of people really close. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. We look forward to obviously spending time. It's not just about doing business, it's about creating a family. We're in units. It's about creating that unity, that union. And of course, we want to definitely give back, because we know that it's a teamwork. It's not just us working. We know that every single person on this call has played a part, in creating what Residual Makers is today. So yeah, I'm excited.
And obviously, for any of you guys that are ETL 1000 already, that are pushing towards TC, then obviously there's going to be bigger rewards. I'll leave it at that. I won't tell you guys what it is, but we're going to have some pretty cool shopping sprees as well. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for being on the call.
Sorry guys, just before we all come off, just a quick announcement, just to finish up the call. So just to let you guys know, we normally have our Sundays training. We're not going to have one tomorrow. Of course, we had the Saturday training. You guys have had 2 hours long, so take those information. The videos will be out. So this actual video has been recorded, this Zoom call. So it will be out at some point. It will be announced on the group, so just look out for it. You guys don't forget the recommendation that Ahmed gave in regards to the books. In fact, myself, Stephen, some of the other guys, we definitely relate. 6 years ago, this was the foundation, the fundamentals that we use to build a successful business. So I hope you guys have taken notes based on that. And then lastly, on Tuesday, we are back to our normal overview calls, but quite exciting. Right after our overview call, we will be having an additional session, and that session will be focused just based on trading. So we're going to have an expert. We're going to have an in-house expert coming on, and they will be teaching you not just the fundamentals. They will be teaching exactly how the money works as well on that call. But apart from that, that's pretty much what I wanted to add. And Stephen, anything else?
That's all. God bless, guys. Let's wrap
guys.
up those positions. Let's make it happen. I know there's about 3 or 4 people that are literally 50 pounds away from ETL 500. So smash those positions, wrap it up today, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday's call. Take care, guys.
Bye for now.
I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by.